is Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to beautiful St. George, Utah. We are at Legend Solar Stadium on the campus of Dixie State University for today's Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference ball game. The Thunderwolves on the road here to take on the Trailblazers of Dixie State University. I'm Jim Brooks, joined by the Chieftains, Joe Cervi, Caitlin Norton, our producer and engineer. And Joe, kind of a nice surprise rolling into St. George, Utah. This is a beautiful area.
Absolutely, and I don't want to say we went a long way to get here, but the stadium is surrounded by palm trees.
Yeah, that's nice.
So we left pine trees and evergreens in Colorado and drove through the great scenic Utah. I'll tell you what, Utah's a different kind of place, but the rock formations, we went through the geologist heaven to get here yesterday, and I'll tell you what, they've first-class operation here at Dixie State taking care of us, and we appreciate it. You can tell that big things are happening here. The stadium is kind of under construction.
Right.
As soon as this season's over, they're going to build the second half of the stadium, and they have big plans down here.
Yeah, I just we're on the good side, I guess, right now. Across the way, as we look at it, where the Thunderwolves will be over on the other side, that's where they're building the new set of bleachers, the other set of stands. But across the way, a lot of famous alumni here. Looking at Bruce Hurst Stadium for the baseball team. They play across here, and they were the national JUCO champions back in 2004. And, of course, Bruce Hurst, longtime famous pitcher for the Boston Red Sox that I can remember, and they've done great things. They've got great facilities all the way around here.
It's phenomenal, Jim. The way they built the stadium up, and looking at the plans that they have out there, it's big things are happening at Dixie.
Well, of course, some of the other famous alumni that people might know, Corey Dillon, of course, played football here back when it was a junior college, former famous Cincinnati Bengal, amongst others, went to New England as well as played there. But this is a game that's a facility and a program that John Riston is kind of worried about. Even a year ago, I'd say, man, this team has the potential to do great things in this conference.
Well, look at where they're located. It's premier recruiting area. You got Nevada, you got Arizona, you got Utah, you close to California. So these guys can they can recruit from all kinds of places. Plus, it's a church-sponsored school, so you get that element to the recruiting as well. And there's 9,000 students here at Dixie State, which when you see at Csu-Pueblo, they're reaching right around 5.
Yeah,
you got 4,000 more here, so that student body's a little bit bigger.
And they're a team that's kind of on the rise. They started off the year. In fact, you asked their head coach, how in the heck did you guys lose the New Mexico Highlands at the start of the year? But they're a lot different ball club at this point of the year than they were early on.
It's kind of funny. They were looking for their identity then, and Shane McClure told me, he said, we're still 10 weeks in, 11 weeks in, and we're still looking for our identity. We're doing some things right. They're very young. They lost a lot of seniors last year. They're very new. They're trying to find some pieces that they think works well. I think they found it. They played well in their last 4 games. They went 2-2 in their last 4 games. Probably could have gone 4-0 if you look at the scores and how things transpired. But it's a pretty good look. It's a pretty good looking outfit.
Well, they are. We'll explore more about them a little bit later in our pregame show. But right now, we're going to take this time out. We'll come back. We'll talk to the head coach, John Riston. That all comes your way next. Thunderwolves pregame show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Joining me now, head coach John Riston. And John, kind of been pointing for this trip from last year. We knew this was going to be a tough one on the schedule, these 2 games in particular.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Dixie State. I think their personnel is right up there in the top echelon in the league. And I guess playmakers, both in offense, defense, the corners are as good as anybody in the league that we play. And we're looking forward to traveling 11 hours to go have some fun.
Well, it looks like they take it kind of serious over there, too. Or kind of like you, Mace, I guess, maybe Shadron. They really want to get after and do things there.
Well, I think they're trying to upgrade their facilities, and they're in building this stadium, and they're doing a lot of different things. It's one of the fastest growing universities in the nation, and I really think they're trying to keep up with the Pueblo factor, as I've always said, what we've done. And so it's kind of cool. And it's really neat to be able to have a new team in the league, a new destination in the league, and we're looking forward to playing them.
And one thing that's on the rise as well, it seems like offensively they're starting to find their stride.
Yeah, they changed quarterbacks in the middle of the Golden game, the Mines game, and then the kid started and was RMAC Offensive Player of the Week, 5 touchdowns, and he was tremendous. He was a great little athlete, and we got our work cut out for us.
Well, we've heard this story before. Great quarterbacks having a good year, maybe having a good game, and they face you guys. I'm sure that's kind of like the script you'd like to follow here, is to kind of beat them down a little bit.
I'll take it right now, Jim, and I'll walk away. But, our defense played outstanding in the last 2 games, and we got to have another game out of them. We're defensively built, and we can get our defense play fast in here and give us some emotion and feed off that. I think good things would happen.
Well, Fort Lewis game, the defense kind of maybe let you down a little bit that game the last 2 weeks. Just one play away, a phantom play away from 2 shutouts in a row. I guess they've turned it around a little bit.
Well, I think when we play a Western State team that is rebuilding a little bit in the offensive line, and our defense line is the strength of our team right now, and they played fast and we're able to do what we needed to do. But it's going to be a different story this week for sure. And so we got to get off blocks, we got to defend the run, and we got to be physical.
I think conventional wisdom probably thought maybe this is the week Brandon got his job back, but Rex played pretty good the last couple of weeks, and it's played too good to just take the job away from him right now.
Yeah, I think, Brandon last week was a little... He went in and did fine, but just used to the fire and the speed of it. It's hard to sing with that. And Rex did fine, too. He threw a good pass to Josh Smith and threw a nice little bootleg out to Aaron Eckhoff on that deal going to his left. And I think there was a great play. And then Brandon got a nice touchdown pass to Zach. So, those guys know where we are, but Rex is going to start, Brandon's going to play.
Well, quarterback's fine, but I think going in this ball game, you need to run that football against these guys and kind of take away their will to want to battle with you.
We need to make sure that we make first downs is my deal. I want to make first downs so we keep our defense off the field and give them some rest. And then we just got to be more physical. I thought our fundamentals of the offensive line was poor last week. And how can I say that? Well, we were poor and we didn't do a lot of great things. And so I'm looking forward to a better outcome. You achieve what you emphasize, and we emphasize that this week.
Well, you set a high standard around here. You'd like to win national championships, like to get the playoffs, but winning a conference title is a big deal. I don't know how many people know that around there. This conference, you look at all the other programs that don't win conference titles. Winning a conference title is big, and if you can win these 2 ball games, it'd be another feather in your cap.
Well, we got to go 1-0 each week to give us an opportunity to do what we want to do, and our goals are still in front of us. So we got to go 1-0. We got to travel 671 miles, and we're looking forward to this opportunity.
And sometimes going out on the road is good for a ball club. You get to bond, and especially one of these 2-day trips, you get to be with the team a lot and really impose your will on them, I guess.
Well, we're going to go, and we're going to go on the road, and us, and that's all we need is us.
All right, good luck today.
Go Pack.
All right, Thunderbolts head coach John Risson back with more of our pregame show right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Welcome back to Legend Solar Stadium here on the campus of Dixie State University. Thunderwolves getting set to do battle with the Trailblazers here. And Thunderwolves, of course, 2 wins away from another Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference title. And so everybody kind of focuses in Pueblo perhaps on getting a berth into the national playoffs. I think they kind of downplay the importance, though, of, first of all, winning the conference title. All that other stuff's gravy. If you win a conference title, you've done something.
Absolutely, and you can't do one without the other. So you got to take care of business first. You got to be the conference champion in the RMAC this year if you're going to get into the postseason. If you're going to have any luck, because the RMAC did itself no favors this year in terms of non-conference scheduling and victories. They won 1 game in a collective conference out of the RMAC, and that's not a very good showing nationwide. So winning the conference, and they've won 6 or 7 in a row. You can't count 2015 because they vacated the season, but you still throw that in there, and it's still there.
It looks impressive, that little painting on the side of the Thunderbolt over there, and they hope they add another one of those with a couple of victories here, of course, today, and then next week on the road at Chandler. We'll be keeping our eye on other games in Super Region 4 today. There's a number of them with importance. Most importantly, it would be Colorado Mesa playing at South Dakota Mines. You and I both have kind of a sneaking suspicion that South Dakota Mines may give Mesa a ball game today.
I just think that we went to Rapid City this year, and we saw that team and that field and that setup and that travel. It's just not the easiest place in the world to play, and they're pretty good. If South Dakota Mines comes to play, they can play with anybody, and they did. They played with Csu-Pueblo for 3 quarters.
And some of the other games that we'll be keeping an eye on today, there's not really a lot of hope when you look up and down the schedule for teams that might impact Super Region 4 for the Thunderbolts. The other one would be Sioux Falls. They're seeded 5th, and they play at Upper Iowa, who's 6-3, and they're one of those teams the Thunderbolts would like to see lose a ball game to come down to 2 losses.
And it was 13-7 the last I looked. They were winning, but that tells me a close game like that. So Sioux Falls, that's a team you've got to have lose in front of you. Obviously, that's one of the ones you have to have lose between this week or next week.
Yeah, next week's when all the movement's going to happen, because you have a lot of one-loss teams playing the undefeated teams.
Right.
And because Central Washington be playing Humboldt. Of course, we got through talking about Sioux Falls. They play Minnesota State next week, so that's one of those teams that could drop down as well. Texas A&M Commerce, they've finished up at Tarleton State, and Midwestern State, they play Tarleton State today, finished up with Eastern New Mexico. So that's Eastern New Mexico is one of those teams ahead of the Thunderbolts, so they play next week. So first things first, Thunderbolts need to take care of business here today before any of this to matter.
Without question, Dixie poses a lot of problems for Csu-Pueblo in that they're very athletic. They're at home. They're fresh. This senior day, there's a lot going on here. Csu-Pueblo left yesterday. They drove all the way to Cedar City, which is about an hour away from here. Stayed right across the street from Southern Utah University. And it's funny, some of the coaches that played for Csu-Pueblo or then USC talked about remembering playing there, either football or basketball, and so they were living their glory days. But like I said, Dixie State is just good enough to get your attention and maybe good enough to beat you if you don't play well.
Yeah, one thing we talked about going for the Thunderbolts, some of the places they get ambushed, it seems like, are places like Fort Lewis where there's a natural turf. Here, it's the field turf like they're used to playing on, so that might help out the Thunderbolts in a road game here today.
Well, you don't lose your speed. You don't have to worry about weather. There's not a lick of wind. It's going to be 75 degrees, no precipitation, so you can't blame the field, the weather. You could blame the travel a little bit, but since they took 2 days to get here, you can't even blame that. What you can blame are turnovers or not hitting, not tackling, not wrapping up, not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, just general poor play in all. We'll come back after the timeout. Joe will give you the keys to victory for today's ball game. That all comes your way next. Listening to the Thunderwolves pregame show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to St. George, Utah, here at Legend Solar Stadium for today's Thunderwolves football game as they take on the Trailblazers of Dixie State. It is senior day. They're busy introducing all the seniors here today. And, Joe, this is a great area, I would think, to recruit. You got in the area, you got California, Arizona, you got everybody in Utah. I mean, it's going to be a great place, I think, in the years to come.
Absolutely, but if you're John Riston, you want to play somebody on senior day.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their family in there. They got their kids, their nieces, their nephews, their fiancé. They're distracted. Yeah, you got tickets for everybody, and then you got to take pictures, and so your mind is not 100% on the task at hand. And Dave Liss, the old basketball coach from Mexico, I'll play anybody on senior night.
That's for sure. What are the keys to victory today, Joe? First for the Thunderbolts, what do they have to do to win this game?
Well, I'm going to put it on the offensive line this week, Jim. I think that they have to establish the run. They have the 5 seniors on the offensive line. They got to get Marche Gennard and Austin Michi some holes so that they can control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, move the football up and down the field, shorten the game. You don't want this to get into a shootout at all. So if Csu-Pueblo can control the ball and establish a run game that we haven't really seen, a dominant run game. It's been a while since we've seen one, and today would be a great day for that.
For Dixie State to pull off the upset, what do they have to do to win this game?
Well, they too need to run the ball, but they need some big plays. Blake Barney is their quarterback. He's got a great story. We'll talk about it a little bit more as we go, but he's a St. George kid. They recruited him as an athlete. They didn't know where to play him. He goes on a mission, comes back, gets hurt, takes over, played running back, played wide receiver. He said, I want to play quarterback, put him in a quarterback. Then all of a sudden he's good.
Yeah.
So now he's their guy right now at quarterback. And Shane McClure is just like, wherever he's on the field, he produces. And so Where do we need to improve the most? Quarterback.
All right, should be a challenge for the Thunderbolts. We'll be looking forward to that throughout the afternoon. We'll come back. We'll give you the pregame weather conditions. Let me just give you a hint.
Hot.
Perfect.
Palm trees.
That's right. Right after this timeout, Thunderbolts football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to St. George, Utah. Our weather conditions for today's ball game, absolutely perfect. Right now, 62 degrees here in St. George. Expect a high later on this afternoon, about 72 degrees. Right now, we have a slight wind, not bad at all, out of the northwest at 4 miles per hour. No chance of precipitation. Kickoff is next. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
I can think of a few things more difficult than the a cappella national anthem on a solo job.
Nailed it.
And that was great. Here's the starting lineups for today's ball game. First, for the Thunderbolts, introduce their defense today. Cornerback to lead Darius Williams. He's a 6', 195-pound junior out of Gilbert, Arizona, along with Emery Taylor, 5'9", 162-pound sophomore out of Columbine High School in Aurora. The safeties, Natu Hetchius. He's a 6'2", 194-pound junior out of Santa Rosa, California, along with Dominic Cisse, 5'11", 182-pound senior out of Long Beach, California. Linebackers, Noah Shangalo. He's a 6'1", 181-pound junior out of Commerce City, went to Adams City High School. Twin Vandekoppel, he's a 6', 225-pound junior out of Castle Rock, went to Regis Jesuit High School. Brandon Pear, 6'4", 248-pound junior out of Pine, went to Conifer High. James Maxey, 6'1", 222-pound sophomore out of Parker, went to Ponderosa High School. The defensive ends, Josh Croy, 6'4", 260-pound senior out of Littleton, went to Columbine High School. Michael Riston, 6'4", 248-pound junior out of Broomfield, Colorado. He also went to Broomfield High. Deion Sizer, 6'4", 283-pound junior out of Aurora, went to Eagle Crest High School. Head coach John Riston, proud member of the class of 1984. For Dixie State on offense, their starting quarterback, Blake Barney, 6', 180-pound sophomore. He's a hometown kid out of St. George, Utah. The running back, C.J. Luongo, he's a 5'7", 170-pound sophomore out of Paramount, California. The fullback is Landon Cook, 5'10", 205-pound senior out of San Clemente, California. The wide receivers, Casey Allison, 6'3", 190-pound sophomore out of Moreno Valley, California. The other wide receiver, Orlando Wallace, 5'11", 180-pound junior out of Cathedral City, California. The tight end, Tyler Krebs, he's a 6'3", 240-pound sophomore out of Riverside, California. The tackles, Tim Ahi, he's a 6'4" senior out of Waipahu, Hawaii. The other tackle, Nate Hines, 6'4", 305-pound freshman out of Imperial Beach, California. The guards, Sevilla Tololatu. He's a 6'1", 290-pound junior out of Provo, Utah. Back with Zach Lugris. He's a 6'3", 280-pound junior out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The center is Braden Peterson, 6'3", 285-pound senior out of Draper, Utah. The head coach, Shay McClure. Joe, what happened on the coin toss?
Csu-Pueblo lost the toss. Dixie State deferred to the second half, so Csu-Pueblo's offense will get the ball going from, I believe, north to south.
I would say that's the
Get north to south or left to right on your radio dot.
Thunderbolts in there. Road whites with the red numerals, a little bit of blue trim sprinkled in there. Dixie State, they're all red with some blue numerals, and the numbers are kind of small, so we'll struggle a little bit about it. So when we get to the binoculars on, we'll be able to pick some of them up, but it's a little tough. It's not media friendly, let's just put it that way.
Well, we're a little bit far away from our normal sidelines. in the RMAC. Usually we're on top of this field, and at Dixie we're a little bit high up and a little bit far away.
Yeah, much the same as we are at the Thunderbolt with the track in between the field and the stand. Kicking off, it'll be Anthony Reyes.
It's like
might be Shane Larson out there to return kickoff here, along with Dodd. Or Donnell, maybe. Excuse me.
Devin Donnell.
It's like Shane Larson here on the near side. Here's the kick. And Larson was going to get a chance, but he fields it about 2 yards deep into the end zone, so it'll come out to the 20-yard line, or the 25-yard line. That's where the Thunderbolts will start this first possession of the ball game.
Yeah, we talk about that, Jim. John Riston likes his guys to bring it out. He likes the chance to make a big play, but that ball was pretty high and deep. It wasn't just one or the other. It was both.
And plus, when you're on the road, I think the worst thing you want to do is try to return one out of there and be stuck inside your own 20. So play it safe, get it out at the 25-yard line. It'll be on the left hash mark to start this first possession of the game. Thunderbolts will open up in the gun. Looks like the pistol, actually, is Denard's going to line up directly behind starting quarterback Rex Dowson. Bunch formation to the right here. Smith starting the game at tight end. Comes in motion, resets behind the right tackle. They hand it off to Denard up the middle. He's got a big opening across the 30. He's out to the 33-yard line. Nice hole there on the right side for the Thunderwolves.
Time they took it right by Trey. We haven't seen Morgan Smith very much lately, and that was a great job for him at tight end to get in there and get his hands dirty a little bit.
Mike Jones, the strong safety on the stop for Dixie State. 2nd down and 2 for the Pack. Johnson splits wide to the left. Washington to the right in this set. Smith's into the ball game as well. Now he jogs over to this side of the field. They'll line up in the slot to the right. They go to the shotgun this time. Denard on the left hip. Now Smith goes in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Dowson rolls right, pass in the flat, caught by Denard up the sideline across the 40, 45 out to about the 49-yard line. Nice little wrinkle there by the Thunderbolts on offense. Getting Denard. He hasn't caught many balls this year out of the backfield. That is only his 5th catch of the year.
16 yards on that gain. He went untouched and unguarded out in the flat. You know, they take that jet sweep the other way, and everybody went.
Smith and Washington this time will go wide to the left. The ball is on the right hash mark this time. Boyd, the tight end, lines up behind the right tackle. Smith, actually behind Smith, who it's a kind of a bunch formation, power formation to the right side here with the tight end. They give it to Denard. Now he reverses and gets maybe a yard on the play. He kind of faked to the right, then kind of a counter cut to the left that time. But it was sniffed out pretty well that time by Dixie State.
Yeah, that's a play we saw Fort Lewis run. And we said, why don't they put that wrinkle in the offense? Well, there it was, but it only went for 1.
It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Pack, right in the middle of the field, right on the Trailblazer logo.
And what is their Bison's name? I know you've been wanting to tell everybody.
His name is Brooks.
Of course it is.
Brooks the Bison. From the gun. Fake it now. Dow's going to roll to the left. He's got room across the 45 to the 40, inside the 40, all the way down to the 37-yard line. A little read option look that time as he faked it to Denard, and it was wide open along the left side. 1st and 10. Thunderbolts in Trailblazer territory.
You want to endear yourself to your teammates as a quarterback? Do that. And I'll tell you what, Jim, they worked on that this week in practice. There was a lot of Rex Dowson calling his own number.
So far, so good for the Thunderbolts. Look crisp on this first offensive possession of the game. Johnson to the left. Smith comes to the right. Boyd lines up behind Smith. The tight end's bunched to the right side here. Up under center this time is Dowson. He takes it, fakes it, rolls to his left, steps, fires it down the sideline, looking for Johnson. Tried to go back over the defender, incomplete.
That ball was underthrown. Amon Johnson had his man Pete down the sideline.
And Amon tried to make the adjustment at the very end to kind of leap over the quarterback's hurt. Might have turned an ankle or turned his knee there as he went up into the air. And he's down on the turf back at about the 3-yard line. That's as far away from the Dixie State bench as you can get. Kind of rolling around like he might be all right, but we'll keep it here just for a moment before we go to the injury timeout and see what's going to happen.
Kind of cramped up there. It's warm.
And it looks like he's going to be on his backside for a little bit. So we'll go ahead and get a timeout out of the way. No score here, just underway. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Injured player is up here for Dixie State. Probably turned an ankle. I think you're right there, Joe. And the injured ball player is J.T. Anderson.
That's the one you got to. He's doing the right thing. He's jogging it off. If you let that set, it's going to be the size of your fist here in a second.
And as we all know, ankle injuries are kind of funny. It might be a 3-week injury. It might be just
3 plays.
Yeah, exactly. So 2nd and 10 now for the Thunderwolves. They're at the 37-yard line of the Trailblazers. They're going to bunch the formation to the left as Long is into the game. He has Ribberich right behind him. He comes in motion. Ribberich to the right side of the formation. Straight drop back by Dowson. Steps up in the pocket, now fires out in the flat. Ball's caught. Relatively short gain. Coverage was right there, but Ribberich makes the grab at about the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. Makes the third down a little more manageable here. 3rd down and a short 6.
That's what happens when you take a shot on first down. You give yourself some down and distance issues. Marche Denard snuck out in the flat on that pattern, Jim.
Wide
went uncovered.
Make a note of that one. We'll see what happens later. They go to the pistol this time as Dowson has Denard about 2 yards behind him here in the backfield. Bunch formation to the left, Long to the right. Straight drop back, look left, little in pattern, incomplete. Boy, I don't know where Rex was throwing that one. He was looking for O'Shea Washington, but there was no way O'Shea could get there that quick, and the Thunderwolves going to send the punt team out. He might have been expecting O'Shea to come quicker on the cut there.
That's Mitch Carter, Jim. They're going to
try a field goal, man. Okay,
49-yard field goal.
Well, the conditions today not bad to kick it. It's a warm, relatively warm afternoon. But it'll be a 49-yard attempt from the right hash mark. Good snap. Ball's down. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg. He might have hooked it, but it sneaks in there. Good. Field goal is good for the Thunderwolves. So they're off to a good start. 11:40 to go here in the first quarter. Thunderwolves lead it 3-0. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to St. George, Utah. Thunderwolves, great booth that time.
Mitch Carter has the leg. We've seen it all season long, Tim. He's not afraid to kick it in. But we are not at altitude. We don't think Pueblo's altitude. It's 4,700 feet. That's pretty high up compared to where we're at now. It's close to 2,000 feet.
And we came over some
we were up
little
there.
Funky mountain passes, but we're down here as you head down into the valley.
And it screeches. You go from 7,000 feet to 2,000 feet in about 20 minutes.
Here's the kick by Carter. Angles it toward the right side. It's caught at the 2, back across the 10, 15, 20, and that's about it. Maybe the 21-yard line on the return here for the Trailblazers. On the return, it was Jeffrey Kopprich. So now we get our first look at the Dixie State offense, trailing the game 3-0. Thunderwolves with a nice opening drive, but Joe, as we kid coaches all the time, Thunderwolves just running it, gashing him. Then they tried that pass on first down, got him behind schedule.
I like when you take your shots, but I like you taking a shot at 2nd and 2.
Yeah, 1st and 10 makes it tough.
I'm anxious to see this defense turn it up, though. Tanner Draper starting at safety, not to.
Exactly. I should have made that note. Blake Barney, the quarterback. He opens up in the gun here. Has an extra fullback to the right side of him. And they give it up the middle on the read option. Not much there for Luongo. That's the running back. Luongo on the year has decent numbers. He's averaging 6.3 yards a carry. Averages 110 an outing. That's not bad. He hasn't played every game this year. Missed a couple games because of injury.
Well, he's not very big at all.
Now 2 backs on each hip of Barney in the backfield this time on 2nd and 9. Another read option. Look, he keeps him. He's hitting the backfield, breaks a tackle. Now he backtracks and he's thrown for a loss. All the way back to the 16-yard line. He got hit.
Aiden Garcia, Jim.
Exactly. I was like, wait, who is that guy, Joe?
Aiden Garcia.
The transfer. He's out of San Jose, California. 3rd down now and 15 for the Trailblazers. Thunderwolves show blitz. They come up on the line of scrimmage. Now they change the play call. Now they back out of the blitz look. Steps up in the pocket. Now he'll run with it. Gets across the 25 out to about the 27. He'll be short of the first down. Picked up about 11 on the play, really 4th down and 4 as the pocket broke down, and Barney made the decision to run in a hurry, but the Thunderbolts had to contain.
Well, the middle linebacker, the 2 inside linebackers are fighting off blocks that entire time. It's not an easy job in there, Jim.
No, it isn't. Punter is Corey Stenz. He's out of Corona, California. A lot of California players, as you might expect here on this Dixie State ball club. Rivers stands back at his own 38-yard line. Thunderbolts should get decent field position out of this. Rugby-style kick, angled to the right side. It's going to hit at about the 40. Up the field, Rivers backtracking. Now picks it up at the 23. Comes up the field across the 25, 30. Tries to get to the edge, 35, 40. Cuts back, 45, out to about the 48-yard line. Good return that time by Kevin Rivers. He's no stranger to good returns. Ever since his high school days, and he's fearless. He's the kind of guy you want running punts back.
Well, Jim, great job by Csu-Pueblo's blockers there. That punt was set to block to the left, to return left. You could tell, but so there was no chance for illegal blocks in the back and decleaning guys. They did a great job of just maintaining their blocks. All the way out to the 47.
So Thunderbolts 1st and 10, leading the game 3-0. We have 9:29 to go here in the first quarter. Jim Brooks along with Joe Cervi bringing you the call today. Caitlin Norton, our producer and engineer. Dowson from the gun this time. Denard on his right hip. They bring Smith in motion, might run the jet sweep. They do. They give it to him. Trying to get outside. Now cuts back inside. Gets forward to about the 50-yard line. Gains 3. Thunderbolts have had mixed success this year on the jet sweep. Smith, 9 carries for 47 yards on the year, make it 10 for 50. So they're averaging about 5 a carry.
If you don't get the edge, it's not going to work. I mean, if you don't sprint to the edge, it's not going to work because the entire defense is running with you, so the cutbacks are already clogged up. You have to get to that edge.
This time Smith will go wide to the left, Washington in the slot to the left, Ramon Johnson in the shorter slot to the left. So trips to the left this time for the Thunderbolts. From the gun, Dowson has Denard on his right hip from the right hash mark. Fake it to him. Look down the middle, fire it down the middle. Ball was low and incomplete. Trying to get it to O'Shea Washington. Trying to sell it that he got it, but he definitely picked it up off the turf that time.
Looks like he rushed that throw just a little bit, Jim. Even his last one, he's got more time than he thinks. It was a play action to Marche Denard, and everybody kind of went with Marche. Rex had some time.
So 3rd down and 7.
This is a lot. I like these little comeback routes here to Delmon Johnson or Cole Forsgren, or this is where you just come right back to it.
Yeah, Forsgren along with Long and Smith line up in a bunch to the left, right outside the hash mark. From the pistol this time. Straight drop back by Rex. Looks left. Here comes pressure. He gets away. He has a chance to run with it. Makes a cut to the outside. He's going to get the first down inside the 40. Run out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Good decision there by Rex, and he got up the field to get the first down.
Did you notice how anybody on the bench at Dixie State slowed him up?
Not at all.
No, they just let him go, and he almost ran over the benches deep in there. They could have, held him up, but no.
Could have ended up in the net down there the kickers used.
Yeah.
They're going to mark it at the 40, so it's 1st and 10 there for the Thunderbolts, leading it 3-0 here in the first quarter. Johnson to the short side here to the right. Looks like Smith right inside him here. It's kind of a tight formation. Now Smith will go in motion to the left side of the formation. Up under center is Dowson this time. Takes the snap, runs the draw play to Denard. Tries to bounce it outside. Gets about 3 down to the 37-yard line. Running right along Aaron Eckhoff, the lead blocker that time.
Jim, there's nothing wrong with that. I think John Riston preaches patience when it comes to the running game. And we have not seen patience. They've tried a lot of other things, but that old just pound and ground that Csu-Pueblo is known for, we really haven't seen it. This will be the perfect day for that.
It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 37-yard line this time for the Thunderbolts. Dowson again up under center. Denard lines up behind him. Long to the right, Smith to the left. Smith comes in motion toward the formation. Straight drop back by Dowson. Here comes pressure up the middle. Gets the pass away, caught. Johnson across the 25, down to about the 20-yard line. A little crossing route that time by Amon Johnson. It's the first down for the Thunderbolts into the red zone, down to the 18. Or as the Thunderbolts like to call it now, the Thunder Zone.
You know what was great about that with Rex Dowson? He went through his progressions, and all 3 of them were open, and he took the one that was going to get him the most. They got 31 on that. 21 on that, excuse me.
Down to the 18-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Thunderbolts, leading at 3-0, 7:10 to go here in the first quarter. Trips to the right this time as Washington, Smith, and Johnson in a bunch just inside the numbers on the right side. That's the wide side of the field from the pistol. Now the tight end Smith comes in motion, resets behind the right tackle. They give it to Denard off the right side, puts his head down, and gets down to about the 15-yard line. Pick up a 3, second down and 7. They're going to mark it just outside the 15.
By Marche Denard being as good as he is and as effective as he is, that keeps your play action in the game plan the entire game because you have to respect that run.
Bulls huddle up, and now they break out of it. Washington this time goes to the left. Long is out to the right. And Smith is in the slot to the left. Ball just inside the left hash from the pistol. Fake it. Now Dowson rolls left. Bernardi's wide open. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. Touchdown! Thunderwolves. Well, Joe, you mentioned it earlier. Marche was open, coming out of the backfield earlier, and that time they found it.
He just snuck out there, went unguarded all the way there.
So Thunderwolves get the touchdown on their second drive of the ball game, and that was a gorgeous drive by the Pack.
Absolutely.
So Carter in to try the extra point. Forsman is the holder. Andrew Tomlinson, the guy you never mentioned, is the long snapper for the Thunderwolves. You only mention him if he messes up. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is good. 6:08 to go in the first quarter. Fast start for the road team. The Thunderwolves lead it 10-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Thunderwolves here. Great pass that time by Dowson. Joe, there's a fine line between throwing that one too hard and just kind of shot putting it out there. You just got to kind of make sure it happens when the guy's that wide open.
When he's in his rhythm like he is seemingly so far today, that's a great pass for Rex. You got to understand, Rex Dawson has a cannon. He's got we talk about guys who can spin it. He can flat spin it. So sometimes he has to take a little off.
Turn taken by Kopritz. Good coverage by the Thunderwolves, but he breaks contain, gets to the outside across the 20, 25, now up the sideline. Thunderwolves missing tackles left and right across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Looked like they had him dead to rights back at about the 15-yard line, but somehow he got to the edge.
John Rinson's not going to be happy about that. He coaches a special teams coverage unit like that, and there were breakdowns galore only because they missed the tackles. They were there where they were supposed to be.
So all the way out to the 41-yard line. This is where Dixie State will start their second possession of the ball game. Thunder will shut them down that first drive. Pretty good crowd on hand here today. Legend Solar Stadium. Got the across the way, the visiting side. They're going to be building new bleachers for next season. So it'll look more like a stadium. A complete stadium, I guess I should say. Here's Barney from the kind of a modified pistol here. Hands it up the middle, and not a whole lot there. Out across the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. Pick up a 3. It'll be second down and 7. That's Luongo. Luongo averages about 100 yards a game. They look to the sideline. They don't huddle up. They all kind of look over, get the signals. Double wide out left, single wide out to the right here on 2nd and 7.
Csu-Pueblo gambled on that last play just by formation alone, guarding against the run.
This is a straight run up the middle by the quarterback, Barney. Here's a flag coming down, probably getting an illegal block here, I imagine, against Dixie State. Perhaps a hold. It came out on the cornerback side, actually blocking the free safety that time. Joe mentioned it, but starting the game today, Jaden Garcia. Oh. Well, they caught the man we mentioned on defense, Jaden Garcia. He gets called for a personal foul face mask. And that moves it all the way down to the 35-yard line of the Thunderwolves. 1st and 10 for Dixie State. Another personal foul killing the Thunderwolves.
They get 2 or 3 a game, Jim, and that's not good.
Dixie State here, trailing at 10-0, but they're on the move. The Thunderwolves territory. Here's the handoff, left side to Luongo, breaks the tackle across the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. Good burst that time coming off the left side on the read option. Gain of 7, it'll be second down and 3.
Just run on the outstretched hands of Michael Ritson. The defensive end almost had him, and
Well, Joe, a lot of this all starts with that break on the return. When they're able to break contain, they get good field position. Sometimes it opens up for the offense. 2nd and 3 now for the Trailblazers. They all look to the sideline. Got 2 backup quarterbacks signaling in. One's live, one's not. Maybe one's signaling formation, one's signaling the play. You never know quite what's up down there. Got an offset eye out of the pistol. They hand it off to the right side. Nice little wiggle, but staying right with it that time was Garcia to make the tackle.
This has been the Jaden Garcia show for better or worse.
Only a gain of 1 that time. Boy, you liked Barney's chances when it's one-on-one, but Garcia sized him up and hit him down.
Like I said, they recruited him. He's a Dixie. He's from St. George, and it just says athlete on there because they don't know where to put it.
3rd down and 2 now for the Trailblazers. And again, a follow play around the right side. This time he'll get the first down, barely, down to about the 24-yard line before he's gang tackled. I guess the best way to compare this, if you watch a lot of college football right now, might be what Arizona's doing with their quarterback. Follow play.
Well, you clog up the middle, you take care of Brandon Payer, and then you just want to run to one side or the other, and he's got a blocker on each side, plus a tight end. There are no tight ends, just the wideouts take off.
2 wideouts to the left, single wideout right here. Back on each hip of the quarterback, Barney. He's in the gun. Takes the snap, read option, looks left. Now fires toward the end zone, and it's broken up incomplete.
Picking on the wrong guy.
Darius Williams right there. They're trying to get the ball on the left side to Casey Allison. Allison on the year. He's caught 4 touchdowns, 37 grabs for 569 yards. They got 2 pretty good wide receivers. Allison along with the other wide receiver was Orlando Wallace.
One of the leaders in the nation in interceptions is Darius Williams.
They bunch up right on the hash marks to the left. Ball's on the right hash mark here. So kind of a tight formation this time on 2nd and 10. Barney from the gun. He's going to just run the follow play right side. He's hit immediately and gets maybe a yard or 2, maybe about just a yard down to the 23-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9. He just takes the snap and runs with it.
They're going to get to the point where he's going to take that step like he's going to run and stop and throw, and everybody's going to bite.
Throw the old Tebow jump pass.
I'm watching it right now. That as soon as they see him put his foot in the ground, they all collapse on the run.
3rd and 9 now for the Trailblazers from the 23-yard line of the pack. Thunderbolts lead at 10-0. As we get later into the first quarter here, 2:40 to go. Now they change the play. They all look to the sideline. Here's that same bunch formation right on the hash mark on the left. The ball's on the right hash mark. They'll send a man in motion this time, Wallace. Now he retreats, comes back to the left side. Straight drop back by Barney. Looks left, fires. Ball was deflected as he went to throw it. Might have been Croy or Shangolo coming in there, got a piece of it. Norris celebrating like he was the man that got a piece of it.
Going to try a field goal here. This is going to be a 40-yard field goal.
And their kicker has struggled mightily this year. 3 of 9 on field goals. His longest of the year is 31 yards. Talking about Anthony Reyes, and that all leads you to believe they probably pop one through here. This is going to be a 40-yard attempt. He struggled kicking extra points this year, 13-17, only 3 of 9 on field goals. He's a junior out of Queen Creek, Arizona. Ball's on the right hash. Good snap. Ball's down. Kick is on the way. It's a low kick, but he drives it right through there. Just like I said, Joe. Numbers don't mean anything when you come up with that kick. 2:23 to go here in the first quarter. Trailblazers on the board. Thunderwolves lead at 10-3 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Well, the home team responds with a nice little drive, but it was aided by the poor coverage by the Thunderwolves on the kickoff, and then the 15-yard penalty didn't help either.
Yeah, you give them out the midfield, and then you give them another 15 on a face mask. Didn't make them work very hard for that 3 points.
Good news is the Thunderwolves did come up with the stop and held them to the field goal, but one of those glass half full, half empty.
Yeah, we've seen enough of this team to where we expect more than sometimes maybe an unfair production.
Here's the kick. He bangs that one pretty good into the looking back into the sun. And Shane Larson, he'll down it about 6 yards deep in the end zone. Good decision there. Well, they said the wind was out of the northeast, but that ball is going out of the south. Looked like it had a little bit more carry on it.
I just think he's got a great leg.
Looking at the flag, the flags are lifted. I mean, it is a gorgeous day. We thought we might get some wind here today, but it's about as perfect as you can be. This kind of day, Joe, makes you want to grab the sticks and go out and play golf. I mean, it is perfect.
It's windy everywhere but here.
Trips to the right this time for the Thunderwolves. Ball's on the left hash mark. Dowson will operate from the gun. Michi gets to his first action of the game. Morgan Smith, the tight end, comes in motion, resets on the right side. Dowson takes the snap, runs the draw play to Michi. Got a nice hole. He's across the 30, 35, 40. Up the sideline. 45, 50. 45 down to the 43-yard line. Nice run that time by Michi. Flag comes in late. Might be a horse collar or a face mask here.
All the way down to the 41, 42.
Here comes the call.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. 27 defense. 15-yard penalty. Third down.
Tyler Walker guilty of the horse collar. And that'll mark it all the way down to the 27-yard line. So the gain was to the 42. For Michi, that's a nice way to start your afternoon running the football.
33 plus the 15 for horse collar, but you know what? Didn't phase him. He's still in the backfield.
Ball's on the left hash. Rivers in the game along with Forger, and they line up wide to the right here this time. From the gun as Dowson has Michi on his right hip. Eckhoff, the tight end, to the left side. Give it to Michi off the left side, and he stutter steps and gets back to the line of scrimmage is about it. They really collapse that time. The defense did on that side of the line for the Thunderbolts. Nothing to see. Kind of lost a yard on the play. And they will mark it back at the 28. Thunderbolts go hurry up this time. No huddle. 2nd and 11. Same formation, double wide out to the right. Eckhoff lines up on the left. And again, they give it to Michi around the left side. They run it better this time inside the 20, 15, 10, down to about the 8-yard line. Perhaps the 7. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds at the 8. First and goal for the Thunderbolts. Same play, Joe, worked a lot better this time.
Yeah, they blocked that time.
That's the key. That's always a key.
The same play, they blocked it that time.
And Eckhoff key on that time. He sealed his man and set the edge, I think is the terminology they like to say.
Shout out to the Eckhoff family. There's a hold.
Oh, didn't see that flag. Well, maybe that's why it was such a big hole.
The Eckhoff family made some T-shirts for Jim and I that say the second best bromance. The Eckhoff and Boyd, they're considered bromance guys, and so they had T-shirts with Jim and I. I love my character because I'm thin in it.
The flag was actually down the field all the way at the 21, so it's a gain to there. So it was a 7-yard gain, then mark off the 10-yard penalty, so it makes it 2nd down and 14 now for the Thunderbolts, back at the 31-yard line. Not quite as damaging as you might expect on a holding call.
Call Ty McCulley on that.
Rivers in motion toward the formation. Straight drop back this time by Dowson. He's under heavy pressure. Now dumps it out in the pocket. That might be grounding. There's nobody there because he was in the pocket. He's pointing down the field at Eckhoff, but the pass landed 20 yards from there. Here comes the head linesman to say, hey, that's grounding. I think that's going to be the conversation here. I think this was a no-doubter against the Thunderwolves. There comes the flag, intentional grounding against the pack.
And sadly, it's a good call.
Yeah, I thought there was no doubt about it. He was trying to sell it, but the receiver was 20 yards further down the field.
And it didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
So the spot foul.
Number 11, offense. Ball placed, spot, put down, ball down, 3rd down.
We'll talk about a damaging call.
Yeah, so back-to-back penalties here against the Thunderbolts. Thought they were going to get 1st and goal, and instead the holding call, and now the intentional grounding. They're all the way back to the 41, plus it's a loss of down. So they need 24 yards here on 3rd down. What they want to do is probably get half that, try another field goal. I think that's the first goal.
And 1st and goal from the 8.
Rivers wide to the left. Like Johnson to the right. Rivers comes in motion toward the formation, now starts up the field. Dowson, crossing route, who Johnson was on the catch. He's down to the 34. Now decision time for the Thunderbolts here. It'd be a 51-yard field goal attempt from right here. He's already hit from 49. I think you got to try it again. You got a hot kicker. And indeed they are going to bring out the field goal unit. So Mitchell Carter, he's already had his longest of the year. Now he tries to eclipse that just about 10 minutes later. Spotted on the 41 on the left hash mark. It'll be a 51-yard field goal attempt. Good snap. Ball's down. Kick is up. Didn't hit this one very good at all. It's well short. He hit it fat and to the left. So the ball will come out to the 34-yard line. So Dixie State's defense, aided by the penalties against the Thunderwolves, get the stop. And Thunderwolves have an injury on the play. Looks like Morgan Smith, the big tight end, comes up injured after blocking on that play. And he's down on his hands and knees. He's trying to get up, but he's definitely got something working. Now he's going to try it again. Now he's able to get up, but he's going to stop again. And he's just trying to take an inventory, looks like, basically, Joe.
You know, he hasn't been right for a few weeks, and, you know, they're so deep at tight end that you don't notice, but he just has not been right.
It almost looks like maybe an abdominal or a groin type strain, the way he's struggling to get off the field. Now he's moving a little bit better as he gets over toward the sideline, and now he'll go down to one knee again.
Well, great stand by Dixie State, taking advantage of big penalties. Again, Csu-Pueblo penalty.
They'll kill you.
The CSUP and stand for penalties because they were one of the worst penalized teams in the nation.
10-3, Pack on top. 34-yard line is the line of scrimmage. They run the read option. They give it to the tailback up the middle. That's Luongo, and he'll get forward out to about the 39-yard line. Picks up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Now, Dixie State, they'll come up on the line of scrimmage. They don't have to run another play this quarter, but I imagine they will. They'll come up and take a look at it.
They didn't start the clock on the last play.
Now it's rolling with 20 to go here in the quarter. They will get a playoff here on 2nd down and 5. Double wide out right, single wide out left. And again, the read option. And a quarterback keeps it. He's thrown for a loss. As Vandekoppel read that beautifully and decked. Barney, you never assume the quarterback is going to hand it off in this situation. And that will run out the quarter. It'll be 3rd and 9 when we come back. Thunderwolves lead at 10-3 at the end of 1. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back for the second quarter of play here. 3rd and 9 for Dixie State, trailing at 10-3. Ball's at their own 35-yard line, just inside the right hash mark. Barney in the gun as he's been all afternoon. Has trips to the left this time. Here comes the blitz by the Thunderwolves. Pass is deflected and then caught at the 35 to the 40. Trying to get to the first down marker is going to be a couple of yards short. Thunderwolves deflected that ball, but the ball ended up in the receiver's hands, but he'll be 2 yards short of the first down out to the 42-yard line. They'll send the punt team in.
That's just dumb luck right there. That ball should have been knocked away. But a great job by the Dixie State receiver.
Thunderwolves sent 5 that time. 4th and 2 from the 42-yard line. The Thunderwolves are going to set up deep this time. They are going to put Brandon O'Donnell deep to receive the punt this time. He stands just inside his own 20. Corey stands to punt it away. This time goes conventional, low kick. And it's handled at the 25 and hit immediately. And O'Donnell that time did the right thing. He did well just to get up to catch that ball on such a low, short kick, saving the field position. That's one of those times you hope you run right by the Gunners and able to split it and get up the sideline, but they able to close down on him.
The Csu-Pueblo penalized 3 times for 25 yards in that first half, but they were big penalties.
Yeah, it cost them. You could say the one penalty cost them 3 for them and then took away 7 perhaps for the Thunderwolves. So Thunderwolves take over at their own 27-yard line. Up under center this time is Dowson.
Denard back in at tailback.
Smith comes in motion to the left side. Now he'll reset, run play action. They've gone to
Edwards. Brandon
Edwards is into the ball game now. So Brandon Edwards coming in on this series. And the pass complete out to about the 30-yard line. Pick up a 3, 2nd down and 7.
I don't know who caught that. Was it Amon Johnson?
Johnson on the right side. So now double wide out left. Smith and Washington to the left. Johnson is to the right in this set. Up under center. Give it to Denard off the right side. Makes a nice cut. squirts out to around the 35-yard line. It'll be short of the first down by 2. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Pack. Looks like there might be a little bit more that time, but Denard got kind of tripped up as he came across the line of scrimmage.
A little shoestring-esque.
So 3rd and 2 now for the Thunderwolves, with Brandon Edwards in the ball game for this series here. Now, he came in the second quarter last week. Long is going to split wide to the left this time. They go to their power package here with the extra tight ends on this set, plus the fullback. They give it up the middle, and Denard is hit in the backfield, and he'll go nowhere. It'll be short of the first down. Might have lost a yard.
And that just, if he goes to the left, he scores.
So a loss of about a half yard. It'll be 4th down. Thunder will send the punting team out for the first time today. It'll be Tanner Kuda to punt it away. So good stand there by Dixie State. But I agree, Joe. Looked like that time Denard elected to run it up into the middle that time. If he bounces it outside, he might still be running.
I know they're taught to run where it's blocked, but there was a hole so wide on the left side that if he goes through it, he's still running.
Good snap. Kuda punts away.
Good
kind of a wobbler. Taken at the 31-yard line on the fair catch. And on the grab on the fair catch that time, Samel Cooper. They'll spot it at the 32, and that's where Dixie State will start on this possession.
Jim, the defense has been out there an awful lot so far, and the offense hasn't really helped. I mean, yes, you're winning. But these 3-and-outs and these plays are gonna take their toll under this warm weather.
Dantzler into the ball game to play wide receiver this time for Dixie State. He lines up wide to the left. They got 2 wideouts to the right side. And from the gun, fullback comes in motion, resets right behind the left guard this time. Barney takes the snap, read option, gives it to the tailback up the middle. Nice opening across the 40, 43-yard line. They're going to give him a first down. They're going to say his knee hit down right at the 42, but that's where they need it for the first down. First good burst of the game for Luongo.
You know, that fullback was just the lead blocker, just kind of churning his feet. Shot through the whole first. Same play, same formation.
All at the 42, and they give it to him up the middle. This time the Thunderbolts collapse down as Sizer just swallows him up alive for a loss of a yard. And the officials stop the clock here momentarily. See, there's a flag down, or is it just because somebody might have lost their lid? Don't see a flag down anywhere. They just kind of stopped it for a moment.
Not sure why you would stop the clock.
Sizer comes out of the game holding his right arm. Maybe they noticed he was injured on the play. So he's getting something taken care of over on the right side. He's hanging that right arm down low. So it's 2nd down and 11. That'd be a big loss for the Thunderwolves. Barney from the gun. Brings a man in motion. They might have jet sweep. They fake it. And now coming off the edge, Shangolo makes the stop. Ball came out, but it's after the whistle. Shangolo that time from the left side read that beautifully and got on Barney's legs before he could get churning for a loss of a yard.
You want to talk about a play of the game so far for Csu-Pueblo? It's right here, 3rd and 12 from the 40. They've gone backwards their last 2 plays. This is my big gripe with Csu-Pueblo. 3rd and 12. You cannot give up a first down here.
Shangolo shows blitz. He adjusts over to the left side this time. Williams comes up on the line of scrimmage and press coverage along with Taylor. All 3 corners right up on the line of scrimmage here this time in press coverage. Straight drop back. They look right now. Throwback screen left. They got a little bit of an opening, but the Thunderbolts pursuit gets over to stop. It looked like Tanner Draper got in there from his free safety position to stop the little wide receiver screen left. They looked right, came back left to Dantzler, but he only gets maybe 4, maybe 5 on the play out to the 45-yard line.
That's just a well-coached defense right there. All that motion by Dixie State, all the different formations, didn't fool them one bit.
And Draper doing what a safety needs to do. He come up, you very secure on the tackle, put him right on the turf. This time they're going to go back to Ribberts returning the punt. He stands at the 20-yard line to receive the punt. And Corey Stens gets it away. Low spiral, taken by Ribberts. Nice cut there across the 25. Cuts up the middle of the field. 30, 35, 40. Hurdles a tackler. 50. And he's down at the 48-yard line. He had one more man to beat. But he was taken down right there as it is. A nice 33-yard return on the play for Riverich.
All I kept looking back for was flags. None.
Might have shortchanged. They actually had the little beanbag at the 18-yard line. So that's 35 yards on the punt return for Kevin Riverich. So good field position here for the Thunderwolves.
Brandon Edwards stays in at quarterback. Marche Denard at tailback.
They're going to put Washington and Smith wide to the right. Like Boyd on the left side of the tight end. Going to give it, no, fake it. And going to run it this time, and Edwards doesn't have the same foot speed, plus he's got that knee injury. Put the ball in the turf. They're going to say he's down, though. Fortunate there for the Thunderbolts. Loss of 2 on the play for Brandon Edwards. He just doesn't quite have the same burst as Rex, and understandably so, with the knee injury. Plus, it was read better that time by Dixie State. They've seen that play.
If you're Brandon Edwards, you feel good because you could take that hit. But you feel bad because you shouldn't have taken that hit.
2nd down and 12 for the Pack here, trying to take advantage of this great field position. Up under center this time is Edwards. Brings Boyd in motion, resets on the left side. Take the draw play, going to roll right. Boyd is wide open, gets the pass. Pass was a little slow getting there, and he gets it down to about the 45-yard line. Pretty good adjustment there by the defenses. Boyd, he broke out there wide open, but the linebacker flew over to get him. They get the lost yardage earlier, plus another couple. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8 now for the Pack at the 45-yard line. Leading at 10-3. We've got 9:05 to go here in the first half. Thunderbolts led it early 10-0.
If I'm the coach right now, coaching staff, this is 2-down territory for me. So you don't need all 8 right now. You need 5 or 6, then you do it again. This is 2-down territory.
They go to the pistol this time. Johnson now adjusting to the right side of the formation. Forsgren is on the left. Now they bring Smith across the formation in motion to the left. Straight drop back by Edwards. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's got some room. Goes up the right side. And he tried to adjust and get it to Boyd. Probably could have run for the first down that time, but he threw it on the outside. Boyd was running down the inside, and the defender kind of set his own screen that time. Once he had an underneath route, too, Joe. I didn't quite catch who it was underneath. Could have probably just almost laid it in his hands and let him run for it.
That's the rust from Brandon Edwards right there, because if he runs, he gets 15 before there's anybody even near him.
So punt formation for Tanner Kuda. You're on 4th and 8. Sets it on its edge. Pooch kick.
No, not the best.
Going to be fair caught at the 12-yard line.
Then again, he sits at 12. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is bang it on into the end zone. So not the greatest field position here for Dixie State as they take over at their own 12-yard line. They trail it 10-3, 8:30 to go here in the first half. They've kind of survived the initial thrust of the Thunderbolts falling behind 10-0. Their defense has come up with a couple of nice stops. Now we'll see what their offense can do on inside the 20 here. Backed up against their own goal line almost.
Well, you're playing field position with them, and so far you're winning that battle, and you're up on the scoreboard. But, boy, you just don't feel comfortable right now if you're Csu-Pueblo.
Arnie from the gun. Long count here.
And no motion.
He'll run the follow play around the left side, cuts it up inside, and goes down at about the 15-yard line. Chagolo on the stop there. Also into the ballgame on this series, played defense. Like Jackson Whipple's playing that right defensive end. Sizer not in the game on this series. Remember, he left the game on the last series. Looked like maybe a stinger on that shoulder, kind of hanging that arm low. 2nd down and 7 here for Dixie State from their own 15-yard line. They go trips to the right this time. From the gun. Long count. Straight drop back. Now steps up in the pocket. Fires up the right sideline. Up for grabs. And a ball broken up. Go picking on Darius Williams. We mentioned it's not the smartest thing to do. They tried to get it to Casey Allison, and he is blanketed that time.
Baited him the whole way. Darius Allen. We love Darius Allen too, but Darius Williams' pre-snap routine is messing with Blake Barney now. He's up on the press coverage, and he drops back. Then he comes up, then he goes 3/4. Blake Barney doesn't know what kind of coverage he's got with his wideouts right now.
3rd and 7 from the 15-yard line. Trips to the right. They're bunched right on the hash mark, on the right hash. The ball's on the left hash. Longer lines up on the right hip of Barney this time. Straight drop back. Comes pressure up the middle. They flush him. Spins out of it. Trying to get away. Up the sideline. Fires. That should be intercepted. Draper's got it at the 40. 35. Nice cut. 30. Looks for the convoy. Across the 25. Tripped up as he gets down to about the 23-yard line. Tanner Draper that time playing center field. That's the old bugaboo by any quarterback at Barney. Rolling to his left, stops, throws it late down the middle, and thought he had a man open, but Draper, the free safety, right in the passing lane.
And he's one of our favorite players. Yeah, Tanner Draper. We gravitate to players with personalities who we can kid with and talk with. We talked baseball with Tanner. He was very excited that the Astros won. He's a Texas kid.
Plus, we always like guys that'll just come over and talk.
Yeah, he's as fun as there is. And he'll like that because he plays in the backfield with. Yeah, there's going to be a sideline warning on Dixie or an unsportsmanlike. I think they call this. This official's tired of the side judge here today is not happy with Shane McClure and the coaching staff. So this may go on the.
He didn't give the old sideline warning. He had the hands outstretched like personal foul here.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike. I think they're going to get 15 here.
Here's the call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Dixie State. Assistant head coach. First down.
And Joe, that's one of the cases where you might cut the head coach a little slack, but when an assistant coach is on you, that's when you're going to lower the ball.
You do not have to take that from. I don't know why it was half the. Oh, I know why. Okay.
It was at the 22.
Right, no, I got you. So they can still get a first down. It's first and 10 at the 11. This is where Marche Denard just has to be Marche Denard, Jim. And Ty McCulley has to be Ty McCulley.
They're going to go to the gun this time. 2 wideouts to the right. Bring Smith in motion across. They're going to fake the jet sweep. Edwards going to roll right now. Fires it toward the goal line. That might be picked off. It is. That's the 1-yard line.
That's just a bad throw by Brandon Edwards. You cannot throw across your body like that, back across the middle late.
To give our listeners at home kind of an idea, that looked a lot like maybe Trevor Simeon a couple weeks ago against the Chiefs. When you just roll in your right, then you just try to fling one across your body, threw it into triple coverage, and the ball picked off.
Can't make that throw. First of all, your arm's not strong enough, and he threw it into triple coverage. Jim, that's a bad mistake.
So Dixie State takes over. The line of scrimmage will be the 2 as they flip directions here. So you pass up the chance to pad the lead there. You got the interception, got the personal foul called, you're in business, and then you turn it right back over the next play. They go to the I formation this time, up under center here on the goal line, does Dixie State.
Sizer back in at nose.
Thunderwolves flinch, but they get back onside. They hand it up the middle, and the Thunderwolves are right there as they gave it to the fullback, Landon Cook. It's the backup fullback. It's Teocho on the carry. He gets it to the 3.
Well, that's generous.
It was.
Sizer now goes out from the nose. He maybe went in to try it and see what happened.
2nd down and 9. That was a very fortunate spot there for Dixie State. Now they go back to the gun. They give it up the middle of the tailback. He bangs his way out across the 5 to about the 7. That's Luongo. So it's going to set up 3rd down and 5. Key play for both squads here. Dixie State just trying to get some field position. Thunderwolves trying to reestablish control here after giving it up. Their offense, the defense basically trying to bail the offense out here and get them back in some good field position.
And if I'm John Riston and Dave Brown and the offensive brain trust at Csu-Pueblo, I go back to Rex Dowson. Brandon Edwards just is not himself. He's not healthy. He can't take the rollouts that he has to make right now. They're not there. And that throw, that last throw was just a bad throw.
3rd and 5. We got a double wide out to each side this time. And now they're going to call timeout. You can see a lot of the players out on the field motion to the sideline. Hey, we need help here, and the help is a timeout. So we'll take one with them here. 10-3, Thunderwolves on top. 6:04 to go in the first half. Back after this timeout on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to Legends Solar Stadium here on the campus of Dixie State University. Beautiful St. George, Utah. Boy, what a revelation this place is. This whole area. What did they say? Your friend here that we met in the booth?
Robert Kent, a former Pueblo Central graduate, played at Central in 1962. He said he was here when 37 years ago it was 7,000. Now there's 100.
It is growing here. 3rd down and 5. Straight drop back here from the gun. They fire it left, and the ball too high. Had a man open there. We were taking a perfect throw, but Wallace couldn't snare it. Wasn't that bad of coverage. It was just he needed to try to squeeze it into a tight window there, and he threw it a little high until the outside. So Thunderbolts defense, they do their job, bailing the offense out, coming up with the stop. Now we'll see what kind of return the Thunderbolts can produce here. Ripperich with the hot hand. He's going to return. He stands in Trailblazer territory at the 43-yard line here, expecting a short kick. Perhaps hoping for a short kick. Low snap. It's handled rugby style. Banged out of there, angled toward the sideline. Ripperich's going to handle it, though, at the 45. Tries to cut up the sideline. They got him pinned, but he breaks the tackle across the 40 and hit by his own man. Decked at the 36-yard line. He had a chance for a lot more. But Csu decked him, and the fans get a big thrill out of that here. The partisans for Dixie State, that might have been one of the best hits all day, and it was the Thunderwolf nailing a Thunderwolf.
Poor Dominic Csu, he gets in the way of Kevin Ripperich. He just turned to look for somebody to block.
Ripperich did a great job. Looked like they had him dead to rights right at the 43, but somehow knifed through the traffic.
Rex Dowson back in at quarterback.
Yeah, I think you're right on, spot on with that observation, Joe. They got to get it back to Dowson. Strictly for the rollouts. That's what's been open in this game for the Thunderwolves. And they get great field position. Must take advantage this time. Dowson straight drop back. Looks right, fires over the middle. Caught. Smith inside the 25. Look at the strength as he takes it down to the 20-yard line. He is a special athlete. Josh Smith, he's listed as a wide receiver, Joe, but he runs like a big, rugged tight end.
Got that tight end body. 6'3", 220. They say 205. He's more like 220.
All the way down to the 20-yard line. He lines up wide to the left this time. He'll come in motion toward the formation. Up under center this time is Dowson to run the draw play right side to Michi. Across the 20, bangs his way down to about the 15-yard line. Good physical run that time by Austin Michi. 2nd down and 5 for the Thunderbolts. They lead the game 10-3. We've got 5:09 to go here in the first half. Thunderbolts scored on their first 2 possessions of the day, led it 10-0, but the offense has stalled since then. Penalties have hurt them. Turnover hurt them. Smith wide to the left. Johnson to the right this time. Boyd. Or Eckhoff actually lines up on the left side. They give it to Michi up the middle, and he's going to hit right at the line of scrimmage. So we 3rd down and 5 for the Thunderwolves.
Dixie does a good job of clogging that up. They've seen it one too many times.
Well, we've mentioned the rollouts have worked so far for the Thunderwolves, and this might call for here. Maybe a little play action, a little bootleg this time by Dowson. We'll see what they come up with here on 3rd and 5 from the 15-yard line. Must take advantage of this field position here.
His favorite pass is this little slant to Boyd.
Boyd lines up on the left side at tight end. Trips to the right from the gun. Dowson takes the snap, play action, looks right, looks over the middle, now flush, and he is going to be sacked. Loose with the football. It's loose on the deck. Still on the deck, and it's picked up by Dixie State at the 30-yard line. The Thunderbolts again turn the ball over. Dowson's internal clock. He should have just thrown that away out in the flat. They tried to hold on and make a play and turned it over.
What are these guys thinking, Jim? I mean, sometimes you just got to go down.
Well, he wanted to go over the middle. It wasn't there. Held it, kind of held it again, and then instead of just flinging it out in the flat, throw it incomplete, get the field goal, he tried to stretch the play, fumbled it, and they're very fortunate it wasn't a scoop and score that time.
That's just bad. At what point, Jim, do you just sell these guys down and say, just do your job?
So now Dixie State, they're going to go empty backfield this time. Double wide out left, trips to the right, the wide side of the field. Barney, the quarterback, all by himself in the backfield here.
Watch the quarterback draw on this.
They try to spread everybody out and just take it right up the middle. Barney takes the snap. He looks right. They set up the bubble screen right. It's caught across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Thunderbolts shut it down in a hurry. And they give it to Copperidge this time. Copperidge only his third catch of the year. Been much of a weapon for Dixie State. Gain closer to 5 as it's just inside the 35-yard line. 2nd and 5 for Dixie State. Trailing at 10-3. Trips to the left, double wide out right. Same formation here from the right hash mark. Screen pass left this time. They caught it, and they've got the first down across the 40 out to about the 42-yard line. Flag comes down, going to get a personal foul here on Dixie State as Draper got clocked after the play was over. The big tackle just buried him, but it was after the play was over. It's going to be a dead ball foul. So the play is going to count, and then the 15-yard mark off against Dixie State here. I'm almost positive of it. I don't think it'll be a continuing action foul. Here comes the call.
Go for the play, first down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 66, the offense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's the freshman out of Imperial Beach, California, Nate Hine. He's the starting right tackle as a true freshman, but he just clocked Draper after the play was over, so it's marked back to the 27-yard line. So penalties have hurt the Thunderwolves in this first half. We'll see how damaging this penalty is in the long run to Dixie State as they were on the move. As it is, it's still first down for the Trailblazers, but back at their own 27-yard line. Bring a man in motion and run the jet sweep around the right side. Trying to turn the corner, but that is a no-man's land for the Thunderwolves. And when your middle linebacker has that much speed, Brandon Pear stops it for no gain on the jet sweep. Jet sweeps with a wide receiver running full blast around the right side, and Pear is still able over to get him.
Well, talking to Shane McClure this week, he said, Csu-Pueblo doesn't have that one guy that makes you go, oh, my. Okay, except for one.
Yeah, number 8.
Pear. He's a freak.
2nd down and 10 now for the Trailblazers from their own 27. Ball the right hash mark. They've gone empty now on this series. Trips to the left, double wide out right. Barney looks left, wider screen left, caught, but not much. This time Thunderwolves are adjusting to this play. Flag comes down.
Yeah, illegal block?
Illegal block or maybe getting the offensive pass interference here. But you're right on that area, right along the line of scrimmage. You can get a little leeway throwing a block. Now the officials conference a bit here.
That's never good when they conference.
Comes the call.
They'll have the Nuggets.
Personal foul, 1 full away, 18 offense. Half the goal, 2nd down.
So a personal foul here against Dixie State. So it's just that bubble screen to the left. They went low on the block.
Jim, this first half is almost over, and if you're Csu-Pueblo, you feel like you've dominated it, and you're up by a touchdown.
It is disturbing. Back to the 15. So it'll be 2nd down now and 22 for Dixie State. Now they bring a Luongo back into the backfield this time. Double wide out to each side. No tight end in this set. Thunderwolves will blitz off the edge. Somebody's going to come in there. Now they rush 4, and right up the middle on the quarterback draw, Barney. And he is trying to be held along by his offensive lineman, trying to escort him up the field. He gets to the 19.
Csu-Pueblo should call timeout.
As we are down to 1:43 to go, Thunderwolves along the sideline. They are a little asleep at the switch right here. You should call timeout.
Call timeout. You're going to get the ball back.
It's 3rd down now. And 17. Precious time rolling off the clock. We're down to 1:25 to go. They're just going to run the whole play clock. Why wouldn't you?
Well, you have to now. It's 3rd and forever.
Well, Thunderwolves asleep at the switch over there on the sideline, not calling the timeout to save those 40 seconds. Now they line up to run the play, and now Dixie State will call the timeout as the play clock was just about to expire. So Thunderwolves, little boner there. 1:08 to go here in the first half. They lead it 10-3 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to St. George, Utah. Thunderwolves lead this game 10-3, but Man, oh man, have they messed up some opportunities in this game, and players are making mistakes. Coaches make a mistake there, Joe, allowing 40 seconds to roll off the clock.
You call timeout, you get the ball with almost a minute and 40 left, and still 2 timeouts.
So double wide out to each side. Ball's on the left hash mark. Barney brings the man in motion to the right side. So they flood the zone right. Quarterback draw this time by Barney. Tries to get to the edge. He's across the 20 out to around the 25-yard line. Now the Thunderwolves do call the timeout. And he'll get the ball back here. 58 seconds to go in the first half. 4th down punt coming up when we come back. Thunderwolves lead it 10-3 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
10-3, Thunderwolves on top by 7. But Joe, I mean, they've left themselves wide open to get, foreshadow it all. But if an upset was in the making, Dixie State's got to feel like, hey, we're right in this ball game. Thunderwolves have messed up twice, deep in Dixie State territory,
and they get the ball to start the second half. Dixie State does. This game should be 24-0 right now at the minimum. And it's 10-3.
Thunderwolves still have a chance here now as Rivers will stand at his own 40-yard line. He's been great on the punt return today. But his last punt return may have summed it up. Thunderwolves getting in their own way as their own man. Csu decked Rivers on the last punt return. If the Thunderwolves shake it up, maybe go for a block here this time. I wouldn't think you would, though.
Well, you don't want a penalty.
Especially the way Rivers has returned and punt so far. Good snap. Kick is away. Chance for the return here. Rivers takes it at the 42. His knee hit the ground, though, as he kind of went down. That was one of his old bugaboos.
Well, he's so little,
a freshman, yeah. And he takes the knee at the 43-yard line. He had the chance there to return that for a few yards. Now the Thunderwolves, time for their offense to atone for some of their mistakes here in this first half. They got 56 seconds to go.
Marche Denard was a big part of this in the first couple of carries, then disappeared.
Trips to the right here on this formation. Smith, the tight end, lines up on the right side of the formation. So 4 receivers of that side of the field here, the wide side. They run the draw play to Denard up the middle. And he spins. He's out to about the 49-yard line. Thunderwolves will apparently go hurry up here. They're not going to take a timeout here. His clock will roll. We're down to 45 seconds to go. It's going to be 2nd down and 5, maybe 4, as they mark it at the 49-yard line. They go hurry up. Long count here, though. Dowson takes the snap, looks right. Now fires up the sideline. He's got a man open. Caught by Smith up the sideline. Inside the 15, inside the 10. Knocked out of bounds. They're going to mark it all the way down to the 8-yard line. What a grab. As a great toss that time by Dowson. He threaded the needle between the safety and the cornerback.
It was like a wheel route is what it looks like. Picture that, but with a wide receiver in the pattern. Goes in motion, gets his wheel route right between the corner and the safety, and the ball didn't have a lot of air. So it got there a lot quicker.
Yeah, just dissected the safety in the corner. The corner guarding up front, and the safety couldn't get over there in time.
26 seconds, though. You still have 1 timeout.
Ball is at the 8-yard line.
Actually, 2 timeouts for Csu-Pueblo.
Double wide out left, single wide out right. Yeah, they can run it a couple times here if they wanted to. Smith resets on the right side. Straight drop back. Dowson looks up, fires it. Ball is deflected right down at the line of scrimmage. He's trying to run a little turn-in route to Washington at the goal line. He was double covered. That was kind of a risky throw there. They're fortunate the ball didn't deflect up in the air and somebody pick it there when it's deflected like that along the line of scrimmage.
Jim, they have a nice play here for where they flood one side and roll a tight end or a back out to that misdirection play, and they worked on it a lot. I wonder if we'll see it tonight.
Up under center this time is Dowson. Denard lines up deep in the single set. And they run the draw play to Denard up the middle, across the 5, down to about the 3. Gets shoved forward down to about the 2-yard line. Thunderwolves will take a timeout here with 16 seconds to go. Timeout on the field. Critical 3rd and goal coming up on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Legend Solar Stadium. Injured player on the field here after the end of this play for Dixie State. And he has got two members of the training staff hovering over him here. He's flat on his back. Kind of the way they're looking at him, they're kind of looking into his eyes down. I've seen some movement from him, but probably checking him here, just taking inventory, and now he's moving his left leg, kind of stretching out here on the play, but see who it is. Now they're looking down at his leg. I'm not sure what they're checking for injury. Maybe there was a conversation they were having. Hey, tell us what hurts.
Well, now they got his left leg bent a little bit, and he's moving his arms and legs, and he wants up. He wants help up. But now he looks fine.
Yep.
That happens.
Trayvon Watson, the injured player.
Now he's running off.
Yeah. It's a lot of things. It's taking inventory, making sure everything's okay. Now everything's fine.
Now, if you're Dave Brown, the offensive coordinator for Csu-Pueblo, you have to have that play loaded, that 2-yard play on the goal line that you know is a touchdown. Do you use it here?
It's almost like that play you'd use for, the 2-point conversion to win a game or something.
But do you show that here?
I think you got it.
Or do you, you're up, and you're going to get 3 out of it, but you need 6 out of it. I like the single coverage to Josh Smith, but...
We'll talk about it. Here's Dixie. We'll keep it right here this time. We don't want to crowd our ads right into each other here. It's 10-3. Thunderbolts on top as Dixie State takes a timeout on defense, and we'll just kind of game plan it here a little bit, Joe. What do you want to run here? They elected there on that second and goal play to try to spring Bernard into the middle. When you got timeouts in your hip pocket, it's not a bad play when you got the defense spread out like that. But now here on 3rd and 2, you could run it, you could pass it. It's got a lot of different options here. Probably depends for the Thunderbolts here. Are you considering this 4-down territory? If it is, then you probably run it, and then maybe run it again. We'll see.
I like Marche Denard in a little bit of space. Dixie State's front 4 is going to crash. So they're just going to clog up that middle. And we have no offense to the listeners and family out there, but this offensive line has not blown anybody off the ball all season. Getting them 1 yard or 2 yards has been a problem. So you can't look at that. I like a misdirection with Marche Denard, and he could walk in if you get him out in space. He's that quick that he can get the edge.
Let's see what they go with here as both teams come out from each sideline out to the field. The ball's on the right hash mark. Thunderbolts are going to go to the pistol here with trips to the left. Could run the bubble here to O'Shea Washington on the left side, but the coverage is pretty tight on this left side. Bring a man in motion. That's Smith, the tight end, resets on the left side. Dowson takes the snap, gives it to Marche right up the middle, makes the adjustment into the end zone, touchdown. They went with the power game, and that offensive line able to get a good push. Plus you had Smith there, an extra blocker, and they just caved in, kind of off tackle left side, and bunch it on into the end zone.
Yeah, how about just Marche running through the A-gap? Okay, that'll work.
So Thunderbolts salvaging this first half with that score. I think that's huge.
I believe so.
Good snap. Ball's down. Kick is up. And it is good. We have 13 seconds to go here in the first half. Thunderbolts lead at 17-3 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Welcome back. St. George, Utah, here at Legend Solar Stadium. So Thunderbolts run the 2-minute, make it 1-minute drill to perfection there. As they, it helped getting the big play, though. A great delivery from Dowson, who's been pretty good in this first half. Remember, he played the first quarter. They brought him out of the game, and Edwards didn't do very well, and now Dowson back in there. That was a great toss to Smith to set him up in goal-to-goal territory.
It was a 41-yard pass, and it was perfectly thrown. That atoned for the fumble. You got to atone when you make mistakes, and they did.
Here's the kick, kind of a short kick this time.
I think intentionally short.
Taken at the 15, across the 20, and tripped up. And this time, remember, he had the stop earlier when Cisse stopped his own man. That time he makes the stop on the opposition on special teams. It's going to take a while for Dominic to live that one down. Tackling was bad.
Or Kevin Ribbridge for running into your own side.
That's true. That's true.
And he didn't even have to do anything. He just turned and knocked you down.
So a chance here now with 8 seconds to go for Dixie State. Let's see what they decide to do here.
They'll try one play.
And they're going to give it up the middle and bouncing it to the outside. Across the 35, across the 40 to about the 42-yard line, but that'll run out the clock. So a nice gain of about 15, but it's all window dressing. Halftime from Legend Solar Stadium here in St. George, Utah. Thunderwolves lead at 17-3. Back with our halftime show right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Solar Stadium here on the campus of Dixie State University. Thunderwolves lead at 17-3 at halftime. Tell you how we got here. Thunderwolves took the opening drive, marched it into Dixie State territory, but the drive stalled. They had to try a 49-yard field goal. Mitchell Carter delivered with his longest kick of the year. Thunderwolves led it 3-0 at that point. Thunderwolves then got a stop on defense, came back, had a nice drive working, and capped it all off as Marche Denard took a little 15-yard pass out in the flat from Rex Dowson, ran it on into the end zone. Thunderwolves looking good at that point, led it 10-0 with 6:08 to go in the first quarter. Dixie State then came back on their next drive. It was aided by a good kickoff return, got it out toward midfield, then a big 15-yard personal foul, and the Thunderwolves set them up deep in Thunderwolves territory, but their drive stalled. They had to settle for a 40-yard field goal, which was hit by a new kicker, A.J. Jurgensen, and that made it 10-3 with 2:23 to go in the first quarter. We didn't have anything happening in the second quarter. A lot of mistakes by both teams on offense, turnovers hurting, penalties hurting, but Thunderwolves eventually, late in the first half, got a big strike from Dowson to Smith. It was a 41-yard pass, set him up down at the 10-yard line. And then the Thunderwolves able to cash it on in on a Marche Denard 2-yard run on 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line, making it 17-3 after the extra point. That's where we are here at halftime. We'll come back. We'll give you the numbers right after this. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Welcome back. Legend Solar Stadium here on the campus of Dixie State University. Thunderwolves lead it at halftime 17-3. Here are the first half numbers. Thunderwolves had 10 first downs. Dixie had 4. Thunderwolves was 79 on the ground, 125 through the air, 204 yards in total offense on 35 total plays from scrimmage. Dixie State 69 on the ground, only 26 through the air, 95 yards in total offense on 31 plays from scrimmage. Penalties in the first half, they were critical to the Thunderwolves. Only 3 for 25, but it's when they happen. They had a grounding penalty right after a holding penalty when they looked to have a 1st and goal at the 8. Instead, the holding penalty marched them back. Then the next play, they got called for intentional grounding, set them behind schedule. And then the other penalty they had aided Dixie State in getting better field position where they could eventually get the field goal. Dixie State penalized 4 times for 56 yards. Time of possession, Dixie had for 15-11, Thunderwolves for 14-49. Thunderwolves only 2 of 7 on 3rd down. Dixie State even worse, 1 of 8 on 3rd down. So that's good news for the Thunderwolves. Thunderwolves only 2 of 4 in the red zone in this first half. Dixie State never made it to the red zone. They are 0 for 0. Individual numbers, Michi 5 carries for 44 yards. Denard 9 for 35, including a touchdown running. He also had a touchdown receiving in the first half. Josh Smith, 1 carry for 3 on the jet sweep. Dowson, 4 carries, credited for -1, but you got to factor the 2 sacks in on that total. Luongo, 8 for 43. Barney, 11 carries for only 25 yards in the first half. Through the air, Dowson, 7 of 11, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked twice. Edwards, in his brief stint, 2 of 4, did throw the pick. Barney, 5 of 10, 1 interception. He has 26 yards, was sacked twice. Josh Smith, 2 catches for 57, including that beauty for 40 that set the Thunderbolts up late. Denard, 2 for 30, including the touchdown. Johnson, 2 for 26. Boyd, 2 for 7. Copperidge, 3 for 14. Gayden, 1 for 7. Dantzler, 1 for 5. Some of the defensive numbers. Draper with 6 tackles, also had the interception in the first half. Jaden Garcia getting the start. He has 5 tackles. Rosenbrock with 4, Payer with 3, Nichols had 5, Watson with 5, Perez and Jones with 4 each for Dixie State. Halftime score, Thunderbolts lead at 17-3. Back with scores from around the country right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back. Legend Solar Stadium here on the campus of Dixie State University. Thunderbolts on top here at halftime, 17-3. Let's check some scores from around the country in the conference. Mesa, well, if you're expecting help from them today at South Dakota Mines, you're not going to get it. They're up 38-7 at halftime over South Dakota Mines. They're taking care of business. Another score from the RMAC. Mines and Adams State surprisingly tied at 21. Game being played at Alamosa today. That's a second quarter score. Humboldt State at Western State today in a non-conference affair. They lead 31-3. Game being played in Gunnison this afternoon. Central Washington from Super Region 4. Thunderbolts keeping an eye on them. They're already off to a 14-0 lead over Simon Fraser. Didn't really expect much help there today. Another game in Super Region 4. The Thunderbolts hoping to get maybe a little help today. It's not happening. As, I just lost it here. Sioux Falls, ranked 12 in the country, 5th in Super Region 4. They lead Upper Iowa. They actually beat them 19-7. It's the final there. So they finish the season, though, on the road next week at Minnesota State. That's one of the games the Thunderbolts will very much will be rooting for Minnesota State to knock off Sioux Falls. Some of the other scores in Division 2 today of note. Ferris State, they defeated Davenport 26-0. They're the 6th-ranked team in the country. Number 24, California, defeated Edinburgh. Number 1, IUP, depending on which poll you look at. I look at my scoreboards on the D2 site. IUP, 36-10 winner over Mercyhurst. Number 4, Shepherd, they defeat Charleston 49-12. We mentioned the Sioux Falls score. Number 19, West Georgia, they defeated Florida Tech 20-13. Number 25, Findlay, all over Alderson Broadus, 70-28. Minnesota State, the number 2 ranked team in D2 poll. They lead the other poll there, number 1. They win today 48-27 over Wayne State, Nebraska. Chadron State, the opponent for the Thunderbolts next week, they lead in the third quarter over Black Hills. 35-7 is the score in that ball game right now. Minnesota Duluth, third quarter score, they lead Minnesota Crookston 34-0. Winona State, 16th in the country, also in Super Region 4. They lead Southwest Minnesota 38-7. Number 17, Virginia State over Virginia Union 28-17. Number 7, Fort Hays, they lead Northwest Missouri, who's the 8th-ranked team in the country, the former number 1, 6-3. That's a third quarter score right now. Northwest Missouri, they're not near the team they were the last couple of years winning national titles. Thunderbolts perhaps hoping for a ray of hope from Tarleton State. They trail Midwestern State late second quarter, 21-14 is the score in that ball game. We mentioned the Mesa score, 38-7. They lead at halftime. Humboldt State at half leads Western State 31-3. We'll refresh you on that one. Other games tonight of interest for the Thunderbolts: Texas A&M Commerce. They'll take on University of Texas Permian Basin. And that's about all the updates we have here for you on the D2 side of the house. Interesting day in Division I college football today. We'll give you some of the scores here while we still have about 50 seconds before we have to go to our final break. West Virginia leads Iowa State 17-0 early on in the second quarter. Big upset brewing. Iowa leads Ohio State 17-10 early on in the second quarter there. Notre Dame, early second quarter score, leads Wake Forest 17-3. North Carolina State and Clemson also early first half score, second quarter score, 14-14 at that game. Also second quarter, Washington State, Stanford tied at 7 apiece. Georgia, South Carolina tied at 7 apiece. That's kind of a shocker right there in its own right. Oklahoma State leads Oklahoma 3-0 early on in the first quarter. game that's being delayed right now because of weather. Penn State leads Michigan State 14-7, but they've got a thunderstorm and some lightning in the area there, so that game is delayed. Back with the second half of this one. Thunderwolves lead at 17-3 at halftime on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Back to Legends Solar Stadium. Sorry, Caitlin, I didn't have my timer right there. I was hoping for another 30 to finish the sandwich. So bear with me. Everybody just loves to listen to a person chewing food right on the radio. Well, that's what you're going to get from me for a little bit here. A couple of the scores in the meantime to pass along as we wait for the second half kickoff. Auburn defeated Texas A&M today 42-27. Number 9 Wisconsin over Indiana 45-17. Number 16 Mississippi State defeated Massachusetts 34-23. We're set for the second half here. Thunderwolves will be kicking off, moving right to left as we look at it. Leading the game 17-3.
For Pueblo, number 29, Mitchell Carter.
Carter to kick it away. The signal. And he's into it. We're underway here in the second half. Kick sails into the end zone as he split the two deep backs, and Jeffrey Copper just decided to let the ball hit right at the goal line, and it bounced on into the end zone and out the back of the end zone. So the 25-yard line is where Dixie State will start this second half drive. Tim Brooks along with Joe Cervi today. Caitlin Norton is our producer and engineer of Thunderwolves football. Joe had to step away for a moment, take care of a couple things with his other job, his main job. Of course, it's Pueblo Chieftain. Double wide out left, single wide out right. Actually got extra man, the fullback in the slot this time for Dixie State. They've run from a myriad of formations today. Send the fullback in motion to the left side. Now resets right behind the right guard. Take the snap. They run the read option. They give it to the tailback up the middle. Nice little adjustment. Breaks a couple of tackles before Tanner Draper gets the tailback, C.J. Luongo, on the turf. But after a 9-yard gain all the way out to the 34-yard line, it'll be first or second down and 1 here for Dixie State.
Around the stop for Pueblo, Tanner Draper.
Here you go, a single wide out to each side this time. Now they adjust the formation. Going to go double wide out left. From the gun. Bring the man in motion. Resets behind the right guard. On count, Barney takes it. Read option. Gives it off the left side to Luongo, and he's got the first down out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. It'll be first and 10 there for the Trailblazers. Thunderwolves on top 17-3. Just underway here in the third quarter. Glad to have you along today on AM 1350, or if you're listening on your iHeart Radio application. We appreciate that. First and 10 Trailblazers from their own 37-yard line. Double wide out left, single wide out right this time from the gun. Luongo winds up on the right hip. They are going to run the jet sweep around the right side this time. Have a little bit of an opening. They turn the corner across the 45 out to around the 49-yard line. As the jet sweep works this time to Orlando Wallace, he was able to get away from Brandon Payer, who was trying his best to chase him down, but he couldn't quite get there, and Wallace turns the corner all the way out to the 48-yard line. So first and 10 there for Dixie State as they try to work their way back in this ball game here, down by 14, 17-3. It's not that they're out of the game right now. They're just trying to get a little bit better into it on this first drive of the second half. Ball's on the right hash, double wide out right. They bring a man in motion, resetting. With the ball up the middle, and Luongo has an opening. Nice cut. He's got about 8 on the play, down to the 44-yard line of the Thunderwolves. They're finding a little better opening this time for Luongo here in the second half to get some runs up the middle. It'll be second down and 2. Play caller's delight right here. They all look toward the sideline. The two backup quarterbacks signaling plays in. One is actually one of the redshirt freshmen. 2nd and 2. Right side, here's Luongo, turns the corner, cuts it back inside. Draper got enough of him to slow him down, but not before he could get the first down to the 42-yard line. Right where he needed to get for the first down. The officials have already signaled move the chain. So 1st and 10, Dixie State. They're in Thunderwolves territory here, trailing at 17-3. Maybe a quick substitution as they swap tight ends. Tyler Krebs comes into the ball game. He'll line up on the left outside of the tackle. Sometimes he comes in motion and resets in the backfield. They're going to go double wide out right, single wide out left from the gun. Bring a man in motion. They're going to run the jet sweep around the left side this time with Wallace. Able to turn the corner. He's down to around the 35-yard line. So far, Thunderwolves not quite up to speed here in this second half. Trailblazers look a little quicker on offense. As they get 5 here, it'll be 2nd down and 5. Thunderwolves need to turn up the intensity notch a little bit here. Halftime adjustments being made by Dixie State, and they've done a good job here so far. 2nd down and 5 from the 37-yard line. And this time they give it up the middle to Luongo, and this time Thunderwolves have him stopped as the helmet flew off that time for the Thunderwolves of Brady Opp, and he did the wise thing that time. He was in on the tackle, but as soon as his helmet come out, you have to stop action, and he just more or less turned the back loose, but the pursuit got it.
Well, we've seen that, Jim, where guys keep playing with their helmet on, and then you get in trouble. But they didn't make him leave, or did they?
Yeah, he came off the field. He's off over on the sideline now. Welcome back, Joe.
Thank you.
Get everything taken care of?
Yeah, my guys are good. It's just when you try and do some things from 1,000 miles away, it's a little bit difficult.
3rd down and 4 here for the Trailblazers. On the move here on this first drive of the second half. They trail 17-3. Critical 3rd down here. Barney looks right, fires right, and he knifes it right between 2 defenders, gets the first down to the 30-yard line. That was a tough pass, but he threaded the needle.
Jimmy threw it. He threw it at Darius Williams, which, hey, more power to you if you conclude that pass.
Casey Allison on the grab, but it's a 1st and 10 for the Trailblazers, down to the 30-yard line.
You know, they took this ball as a touchback. They didn't even attempt to field the ball, and now they're moving smartly down the field.
Picked up 3 first downs so far on this drive. They're at the 30-yard line of the Thunderwolves. Pass out to the left side. It's top of a great play on defense. Emery Taylor looked like knifed underneath the blocker, and the cornerback Taylor read that beautifully, throwing him for a 1-yard loss back to the 31.
Jim, he broke on that ball almost like he thought he could get to it. Emery Taylor's a ball hawk.
He is, and he plays more physical than his size would lead you to believe he could.
Yeah, but he's got that Division II corner mentality. They're undersized, that's why they're here. But, boy, they still talk like corners that are D1 guys.
2nd down and 11 now for Dixie State. Their first little bit of adversity on this drive to start the second half. Trips to the right. And they look right, bubble screen right, caught, trying to get up the field across the 30, but a good play that time by Darius Williams, the other cornerback, as he shucked the block and got on the legs that time of Wallace, holding him to a relatively short gain there when it looked like they had something working.
They're taught to hold your blocker up and then shove him to one side or the other, hopefully towards the path of the runner.
Gain is down to the 28, so it's 3rd and 8 now for Dixie State. 17-3, Thunderwolves on top. Already taken more than 5 minutes off the clock here in this third quarter. We're down to 9:40 to go. Trips to the left, single wide out right. Barney looks over the formation. Thunderwolves show blitz, now they back out of it. Looking over the middle, here comes late pressure, now flush. Looking left, now down the middle of the field, and it is broken up by Taylor, almost picked off. He comes up and saying, I got it, but the official says, no, the ball hit the turf. He tried to sell it.
And the officials actually laughing at him. Said, you know, that was a nice try, but I saw it bounce. But what a great defensive play by Emery Taylor. Had his man in coverage all the way. And what he did, Jim, is he put himself between the ball and the receiver. Even if it was just a little bit by a hand, he did a great job of that. They're going for it.
4th and 8 from the 28-yard line. We mentioned their field goal kicker, even though he's converted one today. He's a new kicker. Their kicker at the start of the year was only 3 for 9. But they went to Jurgensen for today's kick. his first attempt of the year, and he hit it. But they're not going to try it here. Straight drop back. Look left. Here comes pressure. He gets away from the pressure. Now tries to turn the corner, and he's taken down. The Thunderbolts make the stop at the 25-yard line. Flag comes down. Horse collar tackle, I believe, on Vandekoppel that time as he took Barney down. I think that's going to be the call.
Or a horse collar he led with his helmet. One of them led with their helmet.
So the Thunderbolts had the stop, but the laundry came out late. Here's the call.
Horse collar.
Targeting. It was like he kind of pointed to his head.
Jim, whoever came in late.
And they sent him out of the game, Vandekoppel. I don't know if he got ejected here or not. The official didn't make that announcement.
Well, in the second half, you can't review that.
So it's all the way down to the 12-yard line. So the Thunderbolts had to stop, but the personal foul, the bugaboo of the Thunderbolts all year long, penalties, killing them. Only their fourth of the day, but every one of them has been crucial. So it's first down and 10 now from the 12-yard line for the Trailblazers. Reading, they give it now, bouncing it outside. Luongo, he's hit inside the 10 down to about the 9, maybe the 8-yard line. Good recovery that time by the Thunderbolts on defense. So it'll be second down now, and we'll call it 6 from the 8-yard line. We're already down to 8:30 to go here in this third quarter. Thunderbolts lead at 17-3.
Josh Croy is out of the game for Csu-Pueblo, and you don't want to see that.
Barney, straight follow play, but he's hit from the edge, and he goes down right at the line of scrimmage. They might sneak forward for a yard, but flying in that time off the edge was Jackson Wibbles, highly acclaimed sophomore out of Pine Creek.
They're pretty good again this year, aren't they?
They are. Ball spotted at the 8. We'll call it third down. It's kind of a short 6 or a long 5, however you want to look at it here. Trips to the right this time. Ball's just inside the left hash. Well, it gives you the illusion they're going to run right with the quarterback this time. We'll see what they do. Barney takes the snap. He's going to roll the pocket right. Looks right. Fires right. Ball caught inside the 5. Close to the first down. I think it will be as they got the ball complete. Jaden Garcia on the coverage, but he wasn't there in time, and they're going to convert. It's going to be first and goal from the 2. Man, what a textbook drive so far for Dixie State coming out of the locker room. They're aided, of course, by the penalty.
7.5 minutes and counting.
Yeah, they've already taken off over half of this third quarter.
Where's this when you're on deadline in the night game?
First and goal. Bring a man in motion, resetting right behind the left guard. Read option, they go up the middle and it just goes nowhere as Luongo took the handoff and they snuffed him out for a loss of a yard on the play. Good penetration by the Thunderbolts on that defensive left side. Sizer not in the game, of course. He injured in the first half, came back for a play, and then went out again.
Croy is not either. Jim, he's over on the sidelines adjusting his trousers. Grabbed his helmet. I think he wants back in on this play if he can get in.
Second and goal from the 3. They take a while to get this play call in. Play clock is all the way down to 10. Now they empty the backfield.
This could be the quarterback draw.
5 on the play clock. And now signal comes in. Thunderbolts take a timeout on defenses. They didn't have the right personnel package. So timeout on the field. Critical second and goal coming up. 6:29 to go, third quarter. Thunderbolts lead at 17-3 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Critical second down and goal coming up here, Joe. You got to give credit to Dixie State coming out of the locker room, made some adjustments on offense. They've found some operating room.
You know, we look at the time of possession stat, and it was pretty even, but it seemed like Csu-Pueblo's defense was on the field a lot more than it was.
Ball is the back half, the back nose of the football right on the 3-yard line on the right hash mark. Thunderbolts defense comes out from the sideline. They'll set up. Dixie State there waiting for them already. Double wide out to the left side, single wide out right. As Luongo is going to line up on the right hip here of Barney from the gun.
Well, Croy's back in. What they did was move Michael Riston to the nose.
Takes the snap. It's a high snap. They run the read option, and it's a keeper by Barney on into the end zone. He rode the hip there a little long ago. The defense committed to him, and then Barney just took it right up a gaping hole off the right side for the touchdown.
That was too easy.
So Dixie State cashes it in. It's one thing to take a lot of time off the clock. The other is to cash it in for the touchdown, and that's exactly what they've done. What they've effectively done is shorten this game up, and they've made a heck of a game of it right now. They're right on the doorstep of getting all the way back into it. Here's the extra point try. Good snap, ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. 6:26 to go here in the third quarter. Dixie State right back in it. They trail it 17-10. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Stadium. Thunderwolves lead, cut in half. Led it by 14 at halftime. It's down to 7. After that drive that took over 8.5 minutes, 8 minutes, 34 seconds to march 75 yards, aided, of course, by the penalty on fourth down, a personal foul on the Thunderwolves.
Another penalty leads to another score for a CSU Pueblo opponent. How many times? This is week 11. This is week 10. Jim?
Yeah.
We've said that more than once this season.
Here's the kick. Be taken by Donnell at the 2-yard line. Toss to 5, 10, 15, trying to get up the sideline. He's hit down at the 22-yard line.
They're on the tackle for Dixie State, Coleman.
And the tackle by Coleman for the Trailblazers. Thunderwolves, they tried the Brandon Edwards experiment in the early on in the second quarter. It failed miserably. They've gone back to Dowson. Dowson's played pretty good for the most part. Missed a couple of throws, also has the fumble, which didn't like in the first half. But all in all, probably not too bad a grade so far.
Well, he looks the better of the two by far.
All at the 22-yard line on the left hash mark. They flooded to the right, trips to the right this time. And low snap, but it's handled somehow by Dowson. He gets forward and gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Thunderwolves very fortunate. That could have been disastrous. There's a little bit of movement along the line of scrimmage, but Dixie State didn't get into the neutral zone. They were shifting on the play, and the snap hit right at the shin of Dowson, but somehow was able to handle it and get it forward for no gain. Inauspicious start to the second half for the Thunderwolves offense after the defense gave up a 75-yard drive.
They're hanging around, Jim. Hanging around.
Well, we could sense it from early on in that second quarter that Thunderwolves didn't take advantage of chances to maybe put the game away early. From the pistol this time. Brings Smith in motion. Straight drop back by Dowson. He looks left. He's going for it all. Back shoulder throw. Johnson has it out at midfield. Beautiful adjustment there by Johnson on the back shoulder throw. Could have called interference there very easily on Dixie State. They elected not to, but it doesn't matter as Johnson makes the grab.
28 yards on that, and Amon Johnson just turned his body in between the ball and the defender.
That's a 28-yard strike on a line that time by Rex Dowson. No mistake about it. He can zip the football. Spin it, as they like to say, Joe.
He can.
First and 10 at midfield. Trips to the right. From the gun, Denard on the left hip of Dowson this time. Takes the snap. Give it to Denard. Now he's going to bounce it. And he's hit. Gets forward, though. Good second effort. Down to about the 47-yard line. Picked up 3 when it looked like nothing was in order there.
Well, that little counter is just not there. Dixie's not falling for it. You got to go off tackle first and blow somebody off the ball before they start falling for the counter.
Yeah, they show all the lead blockers over to the right side. Denard takes the handoff, kind of takes one step to the right, then tries to come back left. Try to get a little trap block as well, but it's not working. But it gets 3, second down and 7. Trips to the right, same formation. The tight end lined up on the right side as well. Ball's on the left hash mark. From the gun again. They show blitz late. Now they back out of it. Dowson takes the snap. They go to Denard off the right side this time, and it was shut down. He gets forward for all he could get. Gets 2 down to the 45-yard line, but again, a good adjustment by Dixie State. Looked like their defense was slanting that way, and Denard did well to get 2. So 3rd and 5, critical play here in the ball game.
I get the feeling that CSU Pueblo might be tipping its hand by the way the play is going, because Dixie's gone with the play so far pretty much since the second quarter. they might have picked up a key or something.
Trips to the right. Ball's in the middle of the field this time. Same formation, though, from the gun. Denard on the left hip. Tight end lines up on the left side this time. Straight drop back by Dowson. Looks he's going for it all. His man out left. He's trying to Long actually pulled a muscle.
Oh.
Sammy Long was going to be wide open. Sammy Long, the fourth, and he pulled a calf muscle or something there as he was in the clear. He pulled up lame, and the ball sailed about 10 yards over his head. If he stays in stride, it's going to be an easy touchdown.
And there was nobody near him.
Well, you get the things you want and execute it to perfection, and then your receiver pulls a muscle. So Kuda in to punt it away from the 45-yard line. Good snap. Turns it on its edge. Straight up in the air. Fair catch is signaled for and taken at the 10-yard line. So good job again, as he's done all year long. Cannot fault in any way, shape, or form this year Tanner Kuda's effort.
No, he's been a solid punter.
I don't think he's had a bad play yet if you look back the way they graded it out.
He had one touchback, but it was still a net like 38 or 39. It wasn't horrible. There was only one.
And if I remember that one, it was probably the error of the coverage team not realizing where they were at. They kind of let it get into the end zone. So 1st and 10 from the 10 now for Dixie State. But the thing is, Joe, they're within one possession of tying the game here. And that's this possession they have right here, down 17-10. Got ourselves a ball game here in St. George, Utah. We're already down to 3:39 to go here in the third quarter. Barney takes a snap, straight follow play. And he's hit immediately. Gains maybe a yard on the play. Haven't had much success with him running the direct follow play in this game.
Kind of curious as to the defense did such a great job in that entire second quarter of Csu-Pueblo. You wonder if they're worn down a little bit, but they were a sieve in that first.
Well, you can find it out how much Sizer means to him, too, as well as controlling that middle. He always occupies two blockers. It's up to Brady Opp now to do the same thing here.
Yeah, I don't see him on the sidelines anywhere near ready to come back in.
2nd and 9. This time they run the read option, give it up the middle, and the tailback goes nowhere. Michael Rips is on the stop that time as he swallowed him alive. Looks like Croy was in there as well. So just right on cue, Joe, we're calling for the defensive line to rise up a little bit here, and they did on that play. It makes it 3rd down now and 8. They gave him a generous spot out to around the 12. 3rd and 8 now for the Trailblazers. Trailing at 17-10. We're down to 2:35 to go here in the third quarter.
Now, Bryce Vitkovich is now in at nose, and he's a way undersized nose guard, but he's fast. So you wonder if that's going to help.
Well, you want that to be able to chase down, perhaps in pursuit of the quarterback running a little bootleg. Here comes pressure up the middle, and there he is. Well, that's actually not him making the tackle. Looks like a Vandekoppel coming over from the edge. But you can see the Thunderbolts' defensive line a little quicker that time to adjust to the run by Barney.
That was a great defensive series by Csu-Pueblo. With 2 minutes to go in the third.
See how quick it's rolling by here.
Holy cow. Ribberich back.
Stands at his own 46-yard line here. So Thunderbolts should get decent field position here. Stands to punt it away. Senior out of Corona, California. Good snap. Takes it. Gets the punt away. It's a low wobbler. Take it at the 44, across the 40. Makes one man miss. Second man's going to get him down, but a good job on the return. Some returns are more beautiful than others, but that was a beautiful 8-yard return because you save all that field position by getting up there underneath the football.
Yeah, if it hops, you never know.
And that's what you love in Kevin Ribberich. Fearless. That's the best way I can describe him. Kind of one of those guys that probably rides a dirt bike. He's not afraid for the whole shot like that track we saw somewhere when we were on our drive over here today. Yesterday.
He's so thick.
Trying to remember where that was. I think it was in Green River where we saw that beautiful little bicycle motocross ramp. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line for the Thunderwolves. From the gun, Dowson has Denard on his right hip here. Takes the snap, takes it to Marche. He's looking for Eckhoff. Corner route, and that got to be interference, doesn't it? There comes the flag out late. I don't know what the back judge here was looking at. He ignored it, but the line judge bails him out by throwing the flag. I mean, he was being mugged on the play. Now, what is the field judge looking at there, Joe?
Well, I think he was looking at the peak. The umpire did a good job making that, or the line judge, did a good job making that call.
And now the two backs, they come over and say, hey, I thought you were on our side. He goes, well, I didn't throw the flag. I was on your side.
Now, folks, that's not what he really said, but
I read lips, Joe. I'm sure that's what he said. All the way down to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for the I hear we're about a minute and a half ahead today of the Stretch Internet feed here. Oh, good. So you can see everything I just described there if you're listening to us and watching at the same time. Eckhoff readjusts now on the right side to run the draw play to Denard, and he's hit, breaks a tackle, powers his way down to about the 20. Hit at the line of scrimmage, be able to get forward. They're going to see his knee was down at the 21, so a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. We're down to a minute 10 to go here, third quarter. Thunderwolves lead at 17-10.
In the front 3/4 of Dixie State's done a great job today defensively. They really have.
They're kind of mucking it up, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Smith wide to the right, Washington in the slot to the right. Long count up under center. Eckhoff goes in motion. They give it to Denard off the right side. Cuts back into. Oh, he's hit hard right at about the 19-yard line. I think Marche thought he had something working there, and the middle linebacker came over and crushed him at the 19-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down now and 6.
I know he's supposed to cut that back. That's the way that play is designed. But sometimes you just got to go where there's daylight, and there was daylight.
Yeah, he cut it back right into traffic and got. You could tell he wasn't expecting it because you never see Marche get hit that hard.
10 seconds on the game clock. Plenty on the play clock. They don't have to run a play clock.
They could probably take it all the way down from the pistol this time. Dowson taking it down. 2 seconds to go. 1 second to go. And he takes the snap, but the clock had run out. So that ends the third quarter of play. We've got a good one here today in St. George, Utah. Thunderwolves lead at 17-10. Back with the fourth quarter on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
AM1350 Fox Sports Radio Pueblo. Jim Brooks along with the Chiefs and Joe Cervi. Caitlin Norton, our producer and engineer today. We got ourselves a ball game as we start the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves facing a critical 3rd and 6.
You don't like to get this far into your opponent's territory for field goals. You just don't.
Thunderwolves been in great field position pretty much all day long. They've botched a couple of series down here. Missed a field goal, had the penalties, which set it back. At the, they've had a fumble by Dowson. They've had an interception by Edwards.
Penalties. Bad penalties.
Oh, the official was a little late to the game here. The referee was conferencing with the line judge back here at the other side of the field. Now they run down to the field. They probably need a minute to get some oxygen. They set up. I know I needed oxygen after walking up those steps earlier today.
I'm going to do it again.
3rd down and 6 for the Pack from the pistol. Dowson sends Washington in motion to the left side. Straight drop back by Dowson. Looks left, fires left. Shot. Washington adjusts on the pattern. Gets forward for the first down to about the 10-yard line. Boy, he almost gave up the first down there with that little jog step backwards after making the catch.
His first catch of the day.
And he's all the way down. They're going to mark it at the 11-yard line. So the Thunderwolves come up with the key 3rd down conversion.
First catch of the day. That's weird for us to say because O'Shea Washington is probably the most.
Well, he's got 38 balls on the year, make it 39 now. But he's had games where he's caught 7 or 8. It's rare to see him go this long into a game without getting one. From the pistol. Denard right behind Dowson. Ball right in the middle of the field. They give it to Marche up the middle. Makes a nice cutback. He's across the 5, puts his head down, and he gets to the 4 before they hit him down low. Thought he was going to get a little bit more out of that one, but a pretty good defensive play there to get him down. They're going to say his knee is down at the 5. As it is, a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
He's going to get that stutter step one time and bust it outside, and it's going to be gone. Because they're pinching him inside, and he's going where he's supposed to be going, but there's nothing there. So he's going to bounce one outside.
John's going to wind up wide to the left here. Smith and Washington to the right. Washington to the wide side. Or toward the sideline, I guess I should say. From the pistol again. Dowson takes the snap, gets it to Denard. Nice cut across the 5 of the goal line. Touchdown, Thunderwolves.
Marche Denard right there.
Dowson did a great job handling the snap and got it to Marche, and he just rammed it right in there.
That's Marche Denard.
And the small contingent of Thunderwolves fans that have made the trip here, the Ristons are happy. I'll see also the Denard family down to our left here. We're a little bit closer to their area of the country.
That's right, Arizona's.
So extra point try upcoming. Orr's going to hold it, ball's down, kick is up, and it's good by Mitch Carter. So Thunderwolves restore a little order here. 13:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves lead at 24-10. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
St. George, Utah, one of the fastest growing communities in the country. 7,000 was the population, 35 years ago, up to 100,000 right now. And you can see why it's growing. It's a beautiful area. 2 hours from Vegas, which can be good, which can be bad as well. But as far as climate, it's pretty good.
Well, Mesquite is here, and Moab's a few hours away. People say, hey, Moab, no, we didn't even look at that.
Kickoff sails to the 2-yard line, back across the 10, 15. Nice block, gets to the edge, across the 25, out to around the 28, 29-yard line. One of the Thunderwolves just got creamed there on the block.
Jim,
check your dentures.
You know, we asked John Riston this week on the coach's show about the kickoffs not going as deep as we're accustomed.
Yeah.
And that's not by design. He wants the kickoffs deeper as well.
Well, we were spoiled, of course, all those years with Kyle Major. Just had a gigantic leg weight. Very rarely had a return on him.
Greg O'Donnell followed, was maybe even stronger. Nathan Taylor last year, the one-year kicker, the one-hit wonder, wasn't too bad. And Mitch Carter does get some touchbacks, just not consistently.
Remember, he's only a freshman, and his leg will grow stronger. Barney from the gun, takes the snap, read option, gives it to the tailback, and he's crushed immediately. And there is what we're talking about. Brady Opp playing extended play here as Sizer is hurt and out of the game, and he handled the nose guard position beautifully that time for a loss of a yard. Well, we'll always remember Brady Opp this year with the longest yard tackle, the arm bar, sticking the arm out and just decking a guy.
You know, they say the difference with Brady Opp is just his attitude. They think that he could be one of the greats. He's just got to fall back in love with it. You know, he's got all the tools.
Well, he's out of Valor Christian, a sophomore from Castle Pines, Colorado. 2nd and 11. Straight drop back this time. Fire over the middle, and it's caught and stumbling forward, actually shaking out of the tackle, getting across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Pretty good second effort that time by Wallace, the receiver. Or, excuse me, misidentified him. That's Blandon. Joseph Blandon on the grab for Dixie State. Out to the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 5. The Thunderwolves defense love to get a stop here and get their offense right back out there. Barney has trips to the left this time. He's going to roll the pocket left. Breaks contain. Now looks up the sideline. Fires it over the middle. Bad pass. Had his man open. They actually had 2 receivers in the same area. I wonder if that confused him a little bit because he threw it inside the intended receiver.
Right.
But the tight end was kind of flashing from the right side. He kind of threw it right in between them. But again, he's not really known for his throwing ability, although coming into the game, he had decent numbers, 25 of 42, but I'm sure there's a little bit more high percentage than that one.
Nice, another defensive stand by the Thunderwolves.
Time should be Rivers again at the 30-yard line this time to receive the punt. Good snap on his way. A wobbler. Doesn't quite turn over. Rivers takes it at the 28. Puts his head down. Gets out to about the 35-yard line. Again, he runs into his own man this time, Anthony Barron, trying to throw a block for him. But that time it was more Rivers running into his own man. It wasn't the collision like we had earlier in the game where his own man stoned it.
Yeah, that's the end of the first half. Your own man on the punt return.
So Thunderbolts lead it 24-10. 11:58 to go here in the fourth quarter. Here's the drive where you can put this game to bed right here. Right now, Joe, as I like to say, the baby's stirring a little bit. You know, remember those days in your home? Go, please stay asleep. Please stay asleep, baby. You don't want to have to pick the baby up and put it back to sleep, so to speak. Here's Smith. Could they run the jet sweep? They do give it to him around the right side. Tries to get the edge, puts his head down, and knifes his way across the 40 out to about the 42-yard line. Gain of 7. But if he can just break that little bit of contain, then he's off to the races. That's why you got to run that a couple times a game just to get it in his hands and hope it happens.
Right.
He's got really one of the big plays of this game, Joe. Josh Smith, that grab that set him up late in the first half. Every game he seems to do something to just say he's got a good wow factor.
Right.
Forsgren into the game. He lines up wide to the left. Washington to the right. Smith's in the slot to the right. Extra tight end lines up on the left side this time, and that is Eckhoff from the pistol. Johnson takes a snap, runs the draw play up the middle, and he's got the first down. Joe, you saw, it looked like a lot more was going to happen that time, but somehow the defense got in there and got on his legs, but not before he gets the first down.
I got to talk to Marche after this because, and he'll be straight with me, but it seems like he's picking the wrong hole. And I don't know if he's just going exactly where he's told or where it should block, or it just seems like he's missing, like if there's door 1 or door 2, he's gone through the wrong one every time.
Yeah, he kind of cut back right into traffic that time, but he got the first down. That might have been the goal. Just get the first down, Marche.
But if he cuts outside, he's still running. He's in Mesquite.
From the pistol here on 1st and 10 from the 47. And Downson fumbles the snap, but he gets down on top of it. He was going to hand it off to Marche off the right side, but he just mishandled the snap. We've seen a couple of low snaps in this game, but that one looked like Dowson just flat whiffed on it.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2nd down and 13 for the Thunderwolves. See if they can overcome this. Behind schedule now.
Amici now in.
And Marche maybe a little winded. Plus Michi, a little bit more of a threat out of the backfield than the throwing game here. They operate from the pistol, double wide out left, single wide out right. Straight drop back by Dowson, looks left and pass a little low, and it's caught. Relatively short yardage. Whistle blows. It's going to be a gain of about 5 on the play. That's a pretty good grab that time by O'Shea Washington. The pass was low.
I'm still amazed that they called out a catch.
It looked like he fielded it right off the turf. If it didn't hit the turf, it came within an inch.
The referee said official standing right there saw it the whole way. And if there's a guy you're going to give the benefit of the doubt to, it's O'Shea Washington.
3rd and 8 now for the Thunderwolves from the 49-yard line. We're down to 9:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves lead it 24-10. Johnson wide to the left. Washington in the slot to the left. Smith comes out wide to the right this time. Now they bring Washington in motion to the right side. Straight drop back by Dowson. Here comes pressure off the edge. He steps up. He can run with it here, and he will. And he'll get the first down and more. Inside the 40. Inside the 40 down to the 35. And look at the 4 defensive back there. Left line grasping air that time as Dowson went right over the top of it. I don't think the defensive back could believe Rex made that move.
Hurdled it. I don't think I can believe it.
Well, the defense was classic. It would be a great still shot of him just sitting there with his legs outstretched going, I can't believe that just happened.
Well, they're going to run that back on film all week for the poor guy.
In both film rooms, Thunderwolves applauding Rex for the great move, and the defense of Dixie State saying, man, how'd you let that happen?
So Rex has made some big plays today with his legs.
Larson in the ball game lines up in the slot to the left from the gun. Dowson takes it, gives it to Michi up the middle. Nice little adjustment there. Kind of a little jump step that time to get it down to around the 31-yard line. Picks up 4. 2nd down and 6. Michi's got those quick feet, and that was just kind of hopped. If you can imagine, there's a little hop to the side before he got forward.
And then talking to Shane McClure this week from Dixie State, he says, okay, yeah, they lose Bernard McDonald. Okay, wait. Remember the Donner kid? Well, he doesn't remember him. He wasn't here when, yeah. So he's like, okay, here's this kid. And then he's out, then you got Michi. Okay, there's this kid.
Smith wide to the left. Forsgren in the slot. Now they adjust the formation over that side. It's like Guerra in the ball game lines up on the right side. Play action. Dowson, he'll find Guerra. He's got it, and he's close to the first down.
That little tight end waggle is a popular play.
Well, Preston Guerra, the redshirt freshman, he's close to his home area. He's from Peoria, Arizona. Sure, he's got some loved ones here in attendance and takes the grab. He's not quite as big and physical and intimidating as the other tight ends for the Thunder. He'll get there.
But he's young.
But he's got that little extra speed, it looks like, right now, because he just hasn't got that extra weight on him yet. Morgan Smith in the game. He'll line up at the tight end on the right side this time. Trips to the right. So all the receivers on this side of the field from the pistol. Denard back in the game. Takes the hand across the 20. Nice cut. 15. And he's got the first down to the 13-yard line. I think Marche picked the right hole that time.
He did. He guessed wisely.
And we've got an injury on the field here for Dixie State. Looks like they got some cramping issues here. We'll take one with them. 7:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves lead at 24-10 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back. Legend Solar Stadium here in St. George, Utah. Injured player is up and off the field here for Dixie State. It's like a shoulder injury. Brad Duran, I think. Might be Cameron Coleman. Can't tell. His numbers are tough to read. Looks like it actually is Cameron Coleman, a true freshman out of Woodland Hills, California. So 1st and 10 Thunderwolves at the 14-yard line from the pistol. Trips to the right. Ball from the left hash. Dowson takes the snap, gives it to Marche off the right side. He's hit immediately this time. The backside came crashing down, and they body slam him to the turf. Might have lost a yard that time. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
That's great effort by Dixie State front three. Just great effort, Jim.
Boy, Joe, it's almost astonishing to say here. We're already down to 6:20 to go in this ballgame. This second half may be the quickest half of football in our tenure of doing Thunderbolts football together.
You know what you just did?
Yeah, probably.
You just broke up the no-hitter.
That's exactly right.
You just broke up the no-hitter.
There you go, Brooks. Open it in your mouth. Spread the formation a bit this time. They stay in the pistol. 2 wideouts left, single wideout right. And they give it. No, it's play action. Dowson rolling to his right, under pressure. Now flips the ball into the back of the end. A wide open touchdown. Amon Johnson as the defender had slipped down. And Dowson found Amon in the corner. Flag comes down. Going to get a celebration foul here on the Thunderwolves. But the touchdown will count. Defender slipped. And Dowson, running for his life, able to get his head up and look down the field in time and found Amon in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 11. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Thunderwolves, but the touchdown will count.
After the play, touchdown is good.
That'll be Mitch Carter in to try the extra point here. The Thunderwolves now lead it 30-10 with this extra point upcoming. Good snap. Ball's down. Kick is up. And it is good. 5:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves now comfortably on top, 31-10 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
We were giving an alert to Caitlin Norton because we can't hear the station today doing our cell phone broadcast, and she has to alert us each time if I don't keep track of the time, and I didn't keep track of the time that time, so she gave us the go. Appreciate her doing all of her hard work today. Joe, you got a score to pass along from Division II, another shocker.
Northwest Missouri State loses again. I cannot believe they lost to Fort Hays 13-12.
Wow.
And this is...
Fort Hays pretty good this year.
They are. And Jeremy Kapp will be happy. He's a Fort Hays guy, former associate AD at Csu-Pueblo. And now at Iowa Western, the Reavers.
I got a Reavers T-shirt somewhere at home. I might need a new one, Jeremy. If you're listening, I need a new T-shirt. Ball is whipped down to the 20, across the 25, 30. Good coverage by the Thunderwolves. coming in over there. Now Wilson Rock to finish it off, and now we got a little scrum. He's still battling and pushing. It's like a hockey scrum here.
Make sure you don't see the yellow, and we don't, because the boys will be boys part of the game.
Another Thunderwolf comes up injured on the play here, holding his left elbow or shoulder. Let's see who that is. Looks like Monologue. Luke. He's almost that signature when you get the stinger on the left arm. They're just kind of over there holding his left arm out now, trying to get the feeling back in the shoulder or the elbow. Actually looking at his elbow right now. Well, the penalty not too damaging to the Thunderwolves as they only get it out to the 33-yard line. Just got a picture from Tundra. Howling touchdown. Listening to the ball game today, not making the trip over here.
Oh, but we got the text early in the morning to wake us up.
That's right.
Thank you for putting us on that.
Yeah, all 85 of them.
Game day.
All right. Sometimes it's sleeping day. Ball to 33. Straight drop. Pass. Over the middle. Caught for about 7, maybe 8 on the play. This is a little quick turn-in pattern.
Well, you can see how this Dixie team would give teams fits, though. They're very good defensively. They're coming along offensively. So you can kind of see
that the potential's there for this program to take off. Pressure off the edge, and he's hit just as he throws the ball. It's a fair ball. Fair catch attempt there, dropped by Jamal Sears. Fair ball. I went baseball mode on you there that time. It looked like Sears could call a fair catch, and he dropped.
Well, Jamal Sears, Darius Williams, and Tanner Draper were all it was like the Bermuda Triangle. The ball just was in between all three of them.
Yeah, if you'd have completely sold out, you might have run into Tanner Draper there at that time, and that can't be too good of an idea. 3rd down and 3. Look at the press coverage by the cornerbacks for the Thunderwolves.
We had a nice conversation with Tanner before the game. He is a fun guy.
Yeah, he is.
Got a baby on the way.
Looks like he's a lover of life in general. Straight drop back, pump fake, pass out in the flat, and sails into the Thunderwolves bench. He had him open there, trying to get it over to Orlando Wallace, and they just sailed it too high and wide. Now Dixie State, they send out the punt team. I think they would go for it here, but maybe not. With 5:05 to go in the ball game, this is where you're just trying to keep the score reasonable, I guess. If you go for it and don't convert it, then the Thunderwolves might take it right back in and score again. So you're going to punt the ball away, maybe a fumble on the punt.
Well, and for people that are asking, there are no style points in Division II. You don't get more.
Yeah, it's a math thing where wins mean something.
You score 100 or you score 1, it doesn't matter. It's all math.
Good snap, punt is away. Rivers stands, has to angle toward the side. Has to let this one hit. It bounces by him, but he picks it up at the 10. Across the 15. He's still trying to make the most out of it. He gets out to about the 19-yard line. Pretty good return there. Ball bounded by him, but he chased it down. He didn't give up on it.
Saved 7 yards. You know what? He let the ball take that second hop, so he knew which way it was going to go. Sometimes you guess on that first hop, and it takes a funny hop. That time he let it take that second hop so he could tell.
And the last thing you want to do in that spot on the field is guess wrong and turn it back over to the defense. So it was a wise move all along. That's Pueblo East education, Joe.
Hey, we're all products of District 60. My driver's ed teacher, misdirection.
The Eagles won their 5th in a row last night. They're going to be on into the playoffs. They're going to stun somebody in the first round that thought they had a nice little role in the state playoffs. That's my feeling anyway. We'll see. Here's a handoff around the right side on the jet sweep to Smith. Cuts back inside. Here we go. He's across the 25, 30. Flag comes down. Illegal block on the Thunderwolves, and 2 officials saw it.
The only thing I worry about the East Eagles, and I mean this with all due respect, a little overconfident right now.
Yeah, for a 5-5 team.
For a 5-5 team,
be a little more humble.
They're a little overconfident, a little cocky right now.
Yeah, you did lose 5 games this year. You're not world beaters.
Right, so I know 3A is wide open, and they have as good a shot as anyone, but if I'm 5-5, I'm humble and gracious and thankful.
Yeah, we're proud of you. We like what you've done. Congratulations on the league title, but it's not like you've won anything yet, other than the league title, I guess.
Well, and their RPI, they're not even in the top 16.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It could be that old 16-1 matchup. You say, we got to play who? You're kidding me.
Well, Andy Watts, he wanted to. Well, you got to beat them all.
Right.
And they know that. So why not start with the best and work your way back?
Yeah.
Hey, that's one thing we haven't seen with these, and they probably could do it.
Would love to see it. There's a chance there are. We might be doing a TV game if they were doing that.
Well, there you go.
Here's Michi up the middle. As Dowson remains in the game. 3-yard gain for Michi. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Just joining us and wondering why isn't Brandon Edwards in there. He played a little bit in the first half, but he showed some ring rust today. He just didn't have that extra gear with his leg. Just seemed like he was just wasn't himself.
No, he was totally ineffective. And, you know, like I said, I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but Rex Dowson has made 3 or 4 great plays with his legs. And those are plays that Brandon Edwards couldn't make today.
Yeah, his only bugaboo today was the fumble when he was trying to make something happen in plus territory. 2nd down and 7 from the 22-yard line. He's up under center this time, gives it on the draw play to Michi, and he's hit, gets forward for maybe a yard on the play.
Well, Michi was a fingernail going the distance.
Well, here we've talked about Northwest Missouri losing today. Here's a big surprise so far. Iowa leads Ohio State 31-17. But, you know, Joe, I'm not really that surprised. Kurt Ferentz is a pretty good coach with Iowa, and they're the type of program that can come up with a big win like that.
Well, I know more about Iowa now than I ever have.
I was setting you up for that.
Thanks to my 2 new sports writers at the Pueblo Chiefs, and they're both from Iowa.
And then, of course, your former photographer, Mr. Kelton. He's a big Iowa guy.
Yep, Waterloo, I believe, is where he was from.
We're glad to report he's having fun on his new adventure, enjoying life. 3rd and 7 here, straight drop back. Bubble screen right to Smith, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage and continues to fight and gives up more. They're going to give him forward progress all the way out to the 19. For some reason, he was tackled back at the 13. Timeout taken by Dixie State. 2:43 to go here in the 4th quarter. Thunderwolves lead at 31-10 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back. Legend Solar Stadium here on the campus of Dixie State University. Thunderwolves on top 31-10. Punt formation. Tanner Kuda stands back at his own 6-yard line. Good snap. Little rugby style, kind of angles it toward the sideline. Actually punts it high in the air. Fair catch signal for taken at the 49-yard line. That almost looked like a punt return prevention punt as he just boomed that straight up into the air. Kind of gave the illusion he was going to rugby style it, Joe, as he kind of ran over to the left, but then sailed it high in the air. No chance for a return there.
Look at some field flags. There's enough wind that kind of held it up a little bit. But the wind has not been a problem or a factor today at all.
Yeah, the flags were limp earlier, but they've kind of come up. Might be blowing about 5 miles an hour right now. Yeah, trying, Joe. Keep working the flag. Jim, shut up while you're ahead. 1st and 10, Dixie State from the 50-yard line as they're standing right in the middle of their Brooks the Bison emblem. Never did make it to our full story about Brooks the Bison. The Brooks family, very famous here in St. George, Utah. Maybe I'll get to it. Bubble snap. It's loose on the deck. Picked up and gets forward to lose only about 4 yards.
Brandon Baer, he was so focused on Blake's tips that he didn't see the ball. That could have been a scoop and score for Brandon Baer. Other than the drive to start the 3rd quarter, Csu-Pueblo's defense has played outstanding today.
Yeah. But 2nd down now. They're actually getting forward progress to the 47. So 2nd and 13. Bubble screen left, almost intercepted, but he tried to get one up. Pick it up.
Oh, I didn't hear a whistle.
Last week you could have. Against Western State, it would have been a touchdown.
I didn't hear a whistle.
That was the exact same type of toss that Western State scored on last week. When they ruled it a backwards pass when it was actually 2 yards forward.
Jamal Sears has made some great plays for almost great plays today.
It's 3rd down now and 13. Straight drop back. Going for it all right down the middle of the field. There he is, ball hockey, and he's got it. Intercepts it inside the 15.
He took it away from Tanner Draper.
And he might have, and they both might be hurt here.
That is total disregard for your body on both of them.
As he collided with Draper. Draper's flat on his face on the field, and Darius is reaching, oh my goodness, reaching for his left knee. That is not a good sight.
I think his helmet hit. I think
we can only hope it's just a bruise then, because it doesn't look good at this moment for Darius Williams, who's down. Draper now, they're helping up. At least he's sitting now. Now he's going to lay back down. So Darius Williams, after making the interception, that should be a record setter now for the Thunderwolves, right? Interceptions in a season.
That's 8. I believe that's his 8th this year.
Yeah. And now we can only hope that he will get up from this injury. We're going to take a timeout here. 1:52 to go here in the fourth quarter. Now, well, we're going to wait. We're going to wait right here because Darius is up. That's great. Putting a lot of pressure on him. Joe, it's your first inclination, right? I think just a bruise with the helmet hitting that knee.
I think that he collided with Tanner Draper's helmet to the knee is what I think happened.
And he's able to put a lot of pressure on it. He's just kind of walking out to Sean Golo. Yeah, Norris got his arm around saying, you'll be all right, buddy.
But this isn't like I'm helping you off the field. He's like, got his arm around. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Now the training staff comes over.
Well, and I think Tanner Draper, for those if you're still listening or new to our broadcast, he has rebuilt everything. And he does not care about his body.
Yeah, he's going to be a mess when he's about 45 or 50, right? One of those guys.
He just plays like a crash test dummy. And he's got new shoulders. He actually sent me a text from the hospital with both new shoulders, laying in the hospital bed.
And they're still working on him. The rest of the training staff. It looks like John Ritz is almost cracking jokes down there. That's always a good sign. Now he's up. You know, he might be just a bit woozy. He's actually limping a little bit on that left leg. Putting more and more pressure on it. The further you go, you realize maybe it's going to be all right. You're favoring it a lot. It almost looks like an ankle sprain to me, Joe.
He's kind of upset that Darius got the pick and he didn't.
Exactly.
But see, here's the problem with Tanner Draper is he limps off the field every game.
Right.
So you just don't know when or how bad it's going to be.
Getting a little extra help, and look at doing double duty. Here comes Jamal Sears over to help him off as well. Jamal's the designated help you off the field and console you guy.
Well, they kind of laugh because I believe it was at Fort Lewis where they carried Ty McCulley off the field.
Right.
Somebody said, help him off the field, and 2 linemen actually carried him off the field. 3 plays later, he was back in.
He walks back out on the field. Thunderwolves have gotten a victory formation here, as you might expect, with the minute 52 to go.
Well, it's first down.
And Dixie State does have a timeout in their pocket, but the Thunderwolves are confident they're not going to use it here. They're just going to go into victory formation right here. They take the first knee. Just have to do it 2 more times. So Thunderwolves leading at 31-10, and they'll win at 31-10. Stay with us in our post-game show. Joe's going to lumber down to the field. It's like quite a hike up here to the upper echelons of this booth. They'll talk to John Riston after the ball game. We'll have that for you, as well as all the highlights that Caitlin Norton has been putting together. We'll go ahead and give it a shot today, Caitlin. Since I can't hear, we'll just have you text me go each time I'm ready to go again. A little inside baseball there for you. Here is the second snap from victory formation. There he takes the knee, so they'll have to do it just 1 more time. We're down to 1:04 to go. Clock running. Thunderwolves on top, 31-10. Led it 10-0 early. Had the lead cut to 10-3. Scored late in the first half to make it 17-3. Dixie State got the first score of the second half, marching the length of the field in 8.5 minutes. Made it 17-10, but the Thunderwolves have answered with a couple of touchdowns here to lead it 31-10. One final time from victory formation. Rex Dowson to do the honors. He's got to be very satisfied with the effort today. And that will do it. We'll go ahead and keep it here, make sure nothing happens in the final 25 seconds. Players start to congratulate each other. It was a hard-fought win today for the Thunderwolves. They faced some adversity early on in that third quarter after seeing the lead cut to 17-10, but they answered nicely, coming back, getting those scores they needed to put this game away, and they win it 31-10. Stay with us for our post-game show. It comes your way next. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to Legend Solar Stadium. Thunderwolves win the ball game 31-10. And we're going to go ahead and try to give you the highlights here as Kayla Norton has compiled them all afternoon long. I won't be able to hear them, but we're going to do our best here to make this sound halfway decent. Unlike our post-game interview, and it wasn't Joe's fault, it was my fault. The antenna wasn't quite seated perfectly in the back of the old wireless box, so I apologize for that. So we'll just have to read Joe's article tomorrow to get all the highlights for you. But let's get started with the highlights of this ball game. We don't do field goals, but Mitchell Carter hit a field goal to start the ball game. 49-yard variety was the first drive of the game. Thunderwolves went 43 yards in 8 plays. The kick was good. Thunderwolves led it 3-0. On the second drive of the game, Thunderwolves marched it down nicely. This time they would go 53 yards in 7 plays, and he didn't run it in this time. He caught a pass. They'll huddle up and down. They break out of it. Washington this time goes to the left. Long is out to the right, and Smith is in the slot to the left. Ball just inside the left hash from the pistol. Take it. Now down some rolls. Left pass. Denardi's wide open. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. Touchdown! Thunderwolves! Marche Denard on the 15-yard grab from Rex Dowson. That made the score 10-0 with 6:08 to go in the first quarter. Dixie State, they would answer with a pretty good drive, but it was aided by a great kickoff return. A couple of missed tackles by the Thunderwolves aided that. Then the Thunderwolves picked up a 15-yard face mask penalty, which got Dixie deeper into Thunderwolves territory. They would have to settle for a 40-yard field goal from A.J. Jurgensen. That was their longest field goal by 9 yards on the year. That made it 10-3 at that point. Thunderwolves botched a couple of opportunities in the second quarter to get more points on the board, but finally late they would get a 40-yard strike to Josh Smith to set up in a goal-to-goal situation. And on 3rd and goal from the 2, the Thunderwolves would strike again. Let's see what they go with here as both teams come out from each sideline out to the field. The ball's on the right hash mark. Thunderwolves are going to go to the pistol here with trips to the left. Good one, the bubble here to O'Shea Washington on the left side, but the coverage is pretty tight on this left side. Bring a man in motion. That's Smith, the tight end. Resets on the left side. Dowson takes the snap, gives it to Marche right up the middle. Makes the adjustment into the end zone. Touchdown. Marche Denard taking it in from 2 yards out. That made the halftime score 17-3 after the extra point was good by Mitchell Carter. Dixie State would take the opening kickoff the second half from their own 25-yard line. They would mount a 17-play, 75-yard drive finished off by their quarterback. Takes the snap. It's a high snap. They run the read option, and it's a keeper by Barney on into the end zone. He rolled the hit there a little long ago. The defense committed to him, and then Barney just took it right up a gaping hole off the right side for the touchdown. And the score at that point was 6:26 to go in the third quarter, was 17-10 as Dixie State had got right back in the ballgame. They would force the Thunderwolves to punt. They would take over. But again, unable to do anything with it. The Thunderwolves then got a great return by Rivers, setting the Thunderwolves up in Dixie State territory. And again, for his 3rd touchdown of the day, it was Marche Denard.
Because they're pinching him inside, and he's going where he's supposed to be going, but there's nothing there. So he's going to bounce one outside. Johnson's going to wind up a slide to the left here. Smith and Washington to the right. Washington to the wide side. Or toward the sideline, I guess I should say. From the pistol again. Dowson takes the snap, gets it to Denard. Nice cut across the 5 of the goal line. Touchdown, Thunderwolves. Marche Denard right there. The drive covered 38 yards in all in 5 plays. And Denard getting over. The extra point was good by Mitchell Carter. Made it 24-10 with 13:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves would get a stop, and their offense would take over again. This time they would go 65 yards in 10 plays, and Rex Dowson connects with Amon Johnson. Spread the formation a bit this time. They stay in the pistol. 2 wide outs left, single wide out right. And they give it, it's play action. Dowson rolling to his right, under pressure. Now puts the ball into the back end. The wide open touchdown, Amon Johnson, as the defender has slipped down.
Johnson's grab for the touchdown. That was his second touchdown catch of the year. And for Rex Dowson, it was his 10th touchdown pass of the year. The extra point was good, capping the scoring at 31-10. Thunderwolves able to run out the clock late to win the ball game. Once again, we thank Caitlin Norton for compiling the highlights all afternoon long. Thanks a lot. Caitlin, come back. We'll give you the numbers from today's ball game. That comes your way next. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to Legend Solar Stadium. Thunderwolves win at 31-10. Here are the final numbers from today's game. Thunderwolves with 19 first downs, Dixie State with 10. Thunderwolves with 147 on the ground, 184 through the air, 331 yards total offense on 62 plays from scrimmage. Dixie State 105 on the ground, 63 through the air, 168 yards total offense on 60 plays from scrimmage. Thunderwolves penalized 6 times for 63 yards. Dixie State 5 for 71. Third down conversion today, Thunderwolves 4 of 12. Dixie State 3 of 15. Time of possession, pretty even. Thunderwolves 30-43. Dixie State 29-17. In the red zone today, Thunderwolves 4 of 6. Dixie State was 1 for 1. Individual numbers, Marche Denard, 19 carries, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Asamichi, 8 for 51. Dowson, 7 for 30. Smith, 2 carries for 10 yards on the jet sweep today. Luongo, 17 carries, 69 yards. Barney, 17 for 30. Wallace, 2 for 5. Dowson through the air, 13 of 18. No interceptions, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked twice. Edwards in his brief stint, 2 of 4, did throw the 1 pick, had 7 yards. Blake Barney, 12 of 23, intercepted twice, 63 yards, was sacked twice in the game. Johnson, 4 catches for 69 and the touchdown. Josh Smith, 3 for 54. Denard, 2 for 30. Also caught a touchdown pass today. O'Shea Washington, 2 for 13. Coppers, 3 for 14. Wallace, 2 for 13. Dancer, 2 for 10. Gaden, 1 for 7. Defensive numbers, Draper ends up with 10 tackles to lead the way for both teams on the day. Garcia in a start with 7. Shangalo was 6. Van de Koppel with 5. Jones had 8. Perez, Nichols, and Watson was 7 apiece for Dixie State. Thunderwolves win at 31-10. Back to the scoreboard right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
I think it's been more than enough time. I wasn't really paying attention to my text notification, so I'm going to assume we're on here. Thunderwolves win at 31-10 is the final score. Let's go for some scores from around the country as I've been busily trying to compile them here. Mesa leads South Dakota Mines right now in the fourth quarter, 62-7. I think I can probably get a final of that one as I look. Yeah, it's 69-7. Update that score as we speak. 69-7. Mesa is going to defeat South Dakota Mines. What a butt whooping that has turned out to be. So we can close that window here, and we can go to the rest of the D2 scoreboard. I got so many windows open here, I can't figure out what's going on. Chadron State defeated Black Hills 35-14. Let's see what else I can find from the RMAC here. The RMAC's new website, they've taken down the scoreboard that at least I can find. It's not on my old link, so they've put up a new link for the scores, and I can't find it, to tell you the truth. So I'm just trying to weed through the other scoreboard here. Mines defeats Adams State 45-24 there. Humboldt State was in action today against Western State. And as we stall a little bit, trying to find that one for you here. Humboldt State was ahead handily earlier on the ball game. We may have to come back and find that one for you. But let's go down to some of the other scores in Division II here. We'll give you the winners. Assumption a winner. Number 6, Ferris State a winner. Number 24, California a winner. Number 1, IUP a winner. Number 4, Shepherd a winner. Number 12, Sioux Falls. That's a score of note for the Thunderwolves from Super Region 4. They defeat Upper Iowa 19-7. West Georgia, they're a winner today. Findlay is a winner. Minnesota State is a winner. Minnesota Duluth, they won handily over Minnesota Crooks today, 54-6. They're ranked ahead of the Thunderwolves in Super Region 4. Winona State, they're a winner. They're also same story. Virginia State, they're a winner today. One of the big scorers from around the country, the undefeated Fort Hays, defeats previous number 1 in the country, Northwest Missouri. They lose again. They've lost 2 now. They're in danger of not even making the field to defend their crown. They go down to defeat 13-12. That was number 7 Fort Hays over number 8 Northwest Missouri. Midwestern State in quite a battle today with Charleston State, 42-35. That's in the fourth quarter game down in Wichita Falls today. We mentioned the Mesa score. West Alabama, they lead Valdosta State in the fourth quarter. Here's the Humboldt State score. They defeat Western State 48-3. They will take on Central Washington next week in a battle for their conference title, the Great Northwest. 35-0. Central Washington wins. Humboldt defeats Western State 48-3. Thunderwolves will be pulling for Central Washington to win that ball game, and then hope to have enough momentum to get past one of those teams with 2 losses, which would indeed be Humboldt State. Texas A&M Commerce, they lead in the first quarter over Permian Basin 21-0. No surprise there. The rest of the games are tonight, and some of those rest of the games we'll be talking about. Really no danger from anybody that the Thunderwolves are worried about losing today. It's all going to happen for them next week. We'll talk more about that later on. Let's give you some scores from around the country today. They're moved into the third quarter now, midway through the third quarter. Iowa over Ohio State 31-17, 6:16 to go in that ball game. Notre Dame has stretched it out over Wake Forest. They lead it 34-10. West Virginia leads Iowa State, although Iowa State's creeping closer into the game. They're within 7 now, 20-13. They're in the third quarter. They're late third quarter. North Carolina State, midway through the third quarter, leads Clemson 21-17. Number 25, Washington State, now has fallen behind Stanford. It's 21-17 Stanford, 2:19 to go in the third quarter of that one. End of 3, Georgia now is trying to take control. They lead South Carolina 21-10. Wild game today down in Stillwater. It's Oklahoma 38, Oklahoma State 31. They're not even to halftime yet. A minute 18 to go in the first half of that one. First one to 70, perhaps, will win that one today. Michigan State leads Penn State 21-14. Remember, they had a long weather delay in that ball game, so they're 5:30 to go in the third quarter of that one. Here's some finals. Auburn defeats Texas A&M 42-27. Wisconsin over Indiana 45-17. Mississippi State defeats Massachusetts 34-23. Texas and TCU later tonight, as will Central Florida against Southern Methodist. Virginia Tech and Miami of Florida later. LSU against Alabama later. Oregon against Washington. Arizona against USC. You get the story. Last night, Memphis defeated Tulsa 41-14. All the teams from Colorado in action for the most part tonight is Northern Colorado will be at Sacramento State. Colorado is at Arizona State. CSU is at Wyoming. That's tonight's game. The other game we can report on is up at the Academy today. Air Force taking on Army. Then Army leads that game midway through the fourth quarter, 14-0. Who would ever think Air Force would have 0 points against Army in the fourth quarter after the scores that the Air Force has put up this year? And they really had their way with Army for the most part through the years, but they are getting shut out right now, 14-0 in the fourth quarter. That means Army will have a shot at the Commander-in-Chief's trophy against Navy later on, that last game, the traditional one in mid-December. Come back, we'll wrap things up right after this. Thunderwolves win it here 31-10 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back. Legend Solar Stadium. Thunderwolves win it today. Final score 31-10. There were a couple other scores I didn't give you from earlier today in Division II football. Number 25, Findlay, a winner over Alderson Broadus, 70-28. Virginia Union, 17th ranked team in the country. They lead in the third quarter, 39-28. And West Alabama leads Valdosta State 24-14 in the third quarter. One other score from the RMAC didn't give you. New Mexico Highlands defeated by Fort Lewis at 30-20 is the final there. So that has you up to date on scores from around the country. Leads us to where we're going to be next week here on Fox Sports Pueblo with our coverage of Thunderwolves football. Of course, remember the John Riston Show, the Car Pros John Riston Show, I should add, on Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, 6 to 7, from the Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. Come out and join Joe along with myself and the head coach John Riston, and we discuss today's victory and the final regular season game to happen next Saturday in Chadron, Nebraska. And speaking of that, we'll have that broadcast for you. That'll be a 12 noon start next week, 11:30 with the pregame show right here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Thunderwolves' final regular season game of the year, and then they hope to win that one, then hope for some help from around the country to see if they play further or whether they wrap it up. But first things first, they win next week, they will secure another RMAC conference title, sharing it with Mesa. Mesa's already sewed up a share of the conference title with their win today. They have a game next week, but it's a non-conference affair on the road against Azusa Pacific. So congratulations to Colorado Mesa as they've wrapped up a share of the title. Thunderwolves hope to join them with the victory next week. We'll have that here for you on Fox Sports Pueblo. We'll have Broncos football for you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Pregame show, 11 o'clock kickoff right here as the Broncos on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll about do it. Special people to thank, of course, at Csu-Pueblo, of course, our assistant athletic director in charge of media relations, that's Dax Larson. Sean Pooley is assistant. Joe Foley was in attendance today. He was here at the ball game. Is here to watch it, and he'll be an interesting spectator tomorrow. Good luck to the soccer team as they play for the conference title tomorrow. Maybe the women's soccer team can roll the conference title as well. Caitlin Norton's been our producer and engineer today of Thunderwolves football. My partner, as always, Joe Cervi from the Pueblo Chieftain. We look forward to reading his articles tomorrow in a column in the Pueblo Chieftain. My name is Jim Brooks, so I should say special thanks to everybody here at Dixie State. They've been gracious hosts, and we appreciate everything they've done for us here today on our broadcast. I'm Jim Brooks, reminding you the final score again here from St. George, Utah. Thunderwolves win it 31-10. Until we talk to you Wednesday night from the Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House for the Car Pros John Riston Show, Jim Brooks bidding you good afternoon from St. George, Utah.
This has been Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350. Catch all the action all season long right here on the home for all things Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves athletics. Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.